want to make sure that I acknowledge the sponsor of the show, Tiege Hanley, because Tiege Hanley sent me this new pack. They sent me the new Tiege pack, so I just literally pulled the paper out, got it out of the mail, and I started going through it, and I got a little bit more excited than I should. You know what I'm saying? So they did send me the Tiege pack, and I don't even know what this is yet. So I'm assuming this is what you get when you first order your Tiege, and I don't know what this is. Oh, this is dope. This is absolutely dope. Is this a nail kit? Ladies, get this for the fellas. Fellas, don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. This is free. This just comes with it. 30% off your first order, plus 20% off for life. Literally. Oh, snaps. I didn't know that they were sending it like this. Real talk. So this is the nail kit that they sending you. All right. So now you ain't looking like a dusty. This is a free gift straight from Tiege for the people that ordered the Tiege. They got the small one for the little hands like mine's. They got the big joints for your toenails. And then they got the joints at the bottom too. You know what I'm saying? For y'all that's a little bit more crustier than usual. All right, so that's one of the free gifts that Tiege got inside of the pack. And then, what is this? Says, squeeze a quarter-size amount of Tiege Hanley body wash on the center of the wet bristles. Lather, scrub, rinse, and repeat for the perfectly satisfying wash every time. So that's inside of there also, right? Ooh, I can get my rubber ducky on right here. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tiege for sending me that uncomplicated skincare for men. And then what we got in here? We got the actual Tiege pack, right? So this is the normal Tiege pack, but then they gave me the supersized joint for the people. They wanted me to show the people exactly what they got when they ordered that first Tiege pack, when you're getting your 30% off your first order, and then you get your free gifts. You get 2 free gifts, and then the 20% off for life. So the 20% off for life is a new thing. And dang, I ain't even got my keys on me to open this up. Maybe I can use the little nail clipper thing. I ain't got to buy no nail clipper for my new joint downtown. And then you get all of the washes, all of the scrubs, all of the AM, the PMs, and all of that stuff. So you got the whole thing inside of there for you to make sure you take care of yourself. But you got to make sure you take care of it every day. Right? We don't want to miss days. We don't want to be looking like dusties. It does not absolve you from being able to make sure that you brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. It don't fix the teeth problem. Don't fix you ironing your clothes. Don't fix you being able to take care of your business. But it absolutely makes sure that your skin is phenomenal, even when you go in between shaves. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tiege Hanley. We absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for continuing to hold us down. I might do an official Tiege commercial, but I like just talking authentically to the people. I like giving the people the authentic look of what it is that you're dealing with, and I want you to hear from me personally, because anybody can do that little pitch and they can make some little videos, but very few of us can actually speak to the products of exactly what it is that you're supposed to use. So yeah, Tiege Hanley, 30% off your first order, and then 20% off for life. That's the Anton Daniels pack, 20% off for life. Using any other Tiege pack, make sure that you go ahead and let that go. And make sure you tap into the link that's in the description and take care of it, all right? What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. It is Monday, August 12th, 2024, year of our Lord. We back. We in here. We in the building. Where's my watch at? You know I can't do the Millionaire Morning Show with just a regular Apple Watch on. We got to get the whole shebang. We can't give them half the game. We got to give them whole shebang. So we got to put on a rose gold Rolex, because we have to do millionaire things. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, friends and family? I appreciate y'all for continuing to rock out with me. Definitely going to be reading Cash Apps. Definitely going to be reading Super Chats. Definitely going to be bringing y'all a great show. So I hope y'all settled in, because we going to a new level. We going to a next level. And so we're going to be making incremental updates like we always do on this platform. And without further ado, I just want to say I love you guys. It is almost Thanksgiving. It is almost Thanksgiving. Also, I want to make sure that y'all understand that chat lives matters. So we do not censor people as long as they're not being overly disrespectful. We want to make sure that you guys can be able to converse, add your 2 cents, debate, think differently than us, think differently than me. There's some people that love me that think differently than me. And so we want to make sure that we have that conversation. All right? What up, what up, what up, what up to everybody in the chat, Little Black Duck. Michael Johnson, Miami-Dade County Clerk of the Courts in the building. I see some of my rich friends. I see Mr. Lott, Brittany, Purple Haze, Van Rue, Jack Covington, Wealth Building Journey, my dog Yakar, the greatest moderation group in history. Our Streets, what up? Slump Gang, OG Rihanna, Purple Haze, Quentin in the building. Shout out to all of y'all. And it is always going to be up from here. And so we got a great show that's lined up for you guys. First and foremost, obviously, we're going to go into quick hits. And then we want to mine out this whole gatekeeping thing because it's been bothering me all weekend and I haven't really been able to get my thoughts off the way that I want to. So I'm going to break down that from Rickey Smiley's perspective, Charlamagne's perspective. Kamala Harris's campaign is literally paying influencers and they're paying them to not only do anti-Trump campaigns and they're trying to make it seem like it's organic, but they're also paying them to come to the Democratic National Convention. Interesting. We'll get into that. We also want to get into layoffs. There's a lot of layoffs that's been happening over the last few weeks that I've been paying attention to. I want to get into a woman that basically is fired for working 3 jobs. That's interesting. And then I want to get into Scott Galloway towards the end of the stream in which he can give us some perspective on getting rich while also having work-life balance. Is it possible? So without further ado, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning into the Millionaire Morning Show. Of course, you can see it's a couple upgrades around here. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do some upgrades, but first we got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Tiege Hanley. 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Renegotiation about to be up, Tiege. Don't worry about it. We're going to get there. 20% off for life. Tiege is a phenomenal product. Ladies, get it for the fellas. Fellas, don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. Also, if you're not a part of the Bag Chasers and the Patreon members, we did Stock Club on Friday. I got a video that's dropping this week. Preferably today. I got a video that's dropping. It's awesome. We getting done editing it and we working on that. So Patreon members, Bag Chasers is up. This is a financial video. This is all about money, bags. I'm showing you and giving you my perspective on what's really happening in my life. And then I'm also going to help you guys to be able to get to it also and how it is that you can really manifest some of the best financial information in real time from somebody that really did it. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. And then also, we're supposed to be doing another meetup soon. We'll get to that. It's a great day. It's sunny outside. We got another opportunity to do great things. Somebody passed away this morning. I don't want to go into too many details, but somebody passed away this morning. And I just want to say, God bless the family. Rest in peace. And the message that I have from that, just a quick one, because I don't want to dwell on that. I want to get to the show. The message I have from that is, listen, bro, we need to really start making sure that we spend the time on the things that's the most meaningful to us and stop spending time on things that's not going to add value into our life or that we're not even going to remember. That's my message for that. So rest in peace on that. Yes, it is somebody that is relatively closer to me. But I don't want to dwell on it. Life happens to everybody. Death happens to everybody. The really thing that matters is what are you doing with the time that you have on this earth? Are you taking advantage of it or are you wasting it on things that's not adding value into your life? We'll get there. I want to read some of these super chats and then we're going to go ahead and get started with the show. Shout out to Tech Coach Ralph. Tech Coach Ralph says, AD was fire on the panel yesterday. We need more of those types of combos. Shout out to George the Giant Slayer. Let me give him a round of applause. Gothics, everybody that showed up on that panel. I did a rare Sunday live stream in which I joined somebody else's channel, and so that was absolutely awesome. Thank you, Tech Coach Ralph, for pulling up on us. I appreciate you, big dog. Also, Courtney J is in the building, says, Anton, I want you to know I enjoy the show and for providing a platform for those who use or think with reason versus emotion. Shout out from, I ain't never been to Arkansas. I want to go to Little Rock, Courtney. Courtney, if I go to Arkansas, are you going to point me in the right direction as far as where it is that I'm supposed to be so I don't get caught up in no hooga booga? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Courtney. I'm going to Arkansas. I'm going everywhere. I'm going all across the United States of America. Little Black Duck in the building says, the great exchange on Slayer Nation. The amount of respect the panelists gave is well earned. That $30 million is coming back. Chase a salute. Yo, we going to run it up. Shout out to Thai Boxing 67 says Kamala trying to ski wheat into the White House using black women for their time, energy, and money when she doesn't have their best interests. We gonna get there. We gonna mine that out today. LeGarrette says, you rocked out on George the Giant Slayer yesterday. Shout out to George the Giant Slayer and everybody that pulled up on me. Tanisha in the building. Shout out to Tanisha. Says, I truly enjoy the channel and your moderators. This is a solid channel and I appreciate everyone. Tanisha, you done been here. You are not new. You know you love what's going on over here, baby girl. Thank you for rocking out with us. Wealth Building Journey says, that one's going to be interesting about the people working 3 jobs, aka overemployed, that are getting laid off from all of their jobs, hashtag recession. Yep, it's going to be interesting when I break it down. Gene, shout out to Gene with the 30 ball. Let me give you a round of applause. Good morning, AD. Any chance you would have time for career coaching for us young 6-figure earners? I feel like I'm in a good position, but I want to guarantee I'm equipped to always be good. Absolutely. Maybe I'll do a special live stream just for young 6-figure earners. Where's my iPad at? Because if I don't write stuff down, it could be a possibility that I forget it. So let me write that down. Maybe I'll do a special weekend live stream or something like that about that. But I absolutely can. If you request it, I can bless it. You know what I'm saying? If you request it, come on, man. Come out of here. Pop out. Pop out. Pop out. Pop out. If you request it, let's get an undo. Yeah. 6-figure. Got you. All right, so we there. I got you, big dog. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you for holding me down. Prince Elien is in the building. Shout out to my dog, Prince Elien. Prince Elien says, good morning, Mr. Daniel. Seeing you on George the Giant Slayers Live yesterday's show was pretty dope. Thank you, Prince. I appreciate you for that. And then last but not least, my dog, Jamal Fowler. Shout out to Jamal Fowler with the 2-ball. Thank you for holding us down, big dog. I appreciate you. Let me acknowledge some of the cash apps, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with the show. And I'm going to be reading those throughout the show. ESDC. Shout out to ESDC for supporting the platform. I appreciate you. Also, shout out to my guy, Mike That Dude. Mike That Dude is always holding me down. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. We definitely going to be rocking out throughout this show. All right? Y'all ready to go ahead and get started with the show? Purple Haze says, your guest spot on George the Giant Slayer podcast was very educational and you did your thing. You know Anton going to show up and I'm going to show out. You know Anton is going to show out. I'm going to show out, Purple Haze. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to get started? All right, let's get it popping. Quick hits. What we got going on? There we go. Quick hits is a segment of the show that we don't necessarily think that we need to spend an extraordinary amount of time on each individual segment, but we definitely want to keep y'all in the loop of what's going on out in these streets. First things first, men were lured into a Memphis hotel room. So for those of y'all that are not familiar with the finesse, I'm going to break it down for you. So you see the woman out there? You see the woman over there on the right?
Caught on camera, video shows 2 men robbed at gunpoint at a hotel in northeast Memphis. Police tell us this happened just after 9 Saturday night. And tonight, police are still searching for the 3 men involved. Fox 13's Sierra Jordan breaks down the armed robbery. She has the latest information.
2 young men came here to Hotel Elite for a party, but that party turned into a robbery after they were held at gunpoint, and it was all caught on camera.
I couldn't even imagine nothing like that. That's why I don't go to hotels, baby. I got my house.
Take a look at the security video. Police say 3 women invited 2 men into a room for a party at Hotel Elite on Summer Avenue. You see the group walking inside the hotel.
Look at these little scallywags. Look at the little scallywags. Listen, man, it's the oldest trick in the book. And I keep telling these young guys on a regular basis, don't you get caught up chasing a little scallywag. Don't give her your location. Don't take her to your house. Don't go to no hotel room with her. It's not safe. You know, the safest thing for you to still have your head at the end of the day, by the end of 2024, and for you to still be in good health and not be in a wheelchair or not shot up, right, is to just align yourself with a group of people. That's why we got the bag chasers. So you ain't got to be out here with these scallywags. It's safe with the chasers. Shout out to my rich friends, Ray Sean. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. When you go out here, all right, and you think that this woman is giving you motion and she love you, oh, man, she feeling me. Hey, dog, it's 3 of them and they inviting 2 of us to a hotel room. It's a setup. It's a setup. It's a setup. Trust and believe. You are food out here in these streets, especially when they some little scallywags.
Hotel room. Then 3 armed men come in and police say threatened to kill other men. Seconds later, one of the women starts recording the men getting robbed.
People, they should not, use guns.
They think it's funny. They think it's hilarious.
iPhones, Apple Watches, and shoes were stolen from both victims.
You can't walk around being safe. Like, you have to have a gun. And if they see you without it, they look at you like a target.
We went to the hotel's management office for answers on their security policy. We spoke to the manager on the phone.
I was off. It was on Saturday. You would have to speak with my boss about.
Let me say this. This ain't got nothing to do with the hotel security policy. This don't have nothing, zero, zilch, nada. We like to hold business owners accountable for the things that they should be accountable for, but this in particular don't have nothing to do with the hotel security policy. This is people doing egregious things, setting up other people, and doing stuff that they're not supposed to do in the first place. This don't have nothing to do with the hotel.
That, not me.
We spoke to a woman staying at the hotel about her concerns with security. She did not want to be on camera to protect her identity.
They have security here at night, though, but that's the thing. I don't, like, half the time they're here, half the time they're not. And this gate right there is broken. It's trash.
Got nothing to do with no
We
gate.
reached out to Memphis police for an update on the robbery. They say they have no suspects in custody, but the investigation continues. If you have any information related.
Mental note, don't stay at Hotel Elite. Don't stay at Hotel Elite because you will be robbed and you will be held at gunpoint. All right? So, moving on, a man was arrested at a Kroger parking lot for disciplining his toddler. Check it out.
It was a display of aggression and parenting outside of a.
Let me tell you something about this guy. This guy's getting more sassy by the day. This guy's getting more sassy by the day. It's a lot to deal with. Look, this is what we do. We get distracted over here on the Millionaire Morning Show. Let's continue.
Grocery store, and it's landed a Gwinnett County man in jail tonight. That's after video of what police say was a case of child abuse in a Kroger parking lot went viral on social media. We do want to warn you, it might be difficult for some to watch. News Edge reporter Joy Dukes has more.
Yeah, it was a disturbing sight for many shoppers who were here in the parking lot of this Kroger on Five Forks Road Wednesday afternoon. A man repeatedly hitting and screaming at a small child. Now, a bystander recorded video of the incident that has since gone viral. We do want to warn you, it may be difficult to watch.
Shut up! Shut up! I say shut up!
That is totally uncalled for. What I saw hurt me.
Cell phone video of a Wednesday afternoon visit to this Kroger in Lilburn has become a trending topic online as it appears to show a Snellville man's aggressive parenting style on full display.
Shut up!
In the video obtained by Fox 5, 44-year-old James Collins can be seen striking a 3-year-old child in the back seat of his truck and yelling at the toddler after he'd apparently had an accident.
You ain't getting no damn car. Stop partying on yourself.
Gwinnett County Police say it has been viewed and shared thousands of times online. Amanda Martin, a frequent shopper at this Kroger, says she saw it in a Facebook post.
It was completely heartbreaking. I can't imagine a parent getting that upset with a child.
A bystander who saw what was happening recorded the video before calling 911 out of concern for the child's safety. In the video that lasts just over a minute, you can see another shopper try to step in. Collins then telling her to mind her business. Martin says she was glad someone...
No, they're going to call her a Karen. They're going to call her a Karen.
...spoke up.
Never want to put yourself in danger, but obviously, they were afraid for the child.
Shopper Elena de Brazil says she would have done the same thing.
And myself, I would have blocked his car, called 911, stay there until the police came, yes. You don't assault a child like this.
Gwinnett County Police confirmed Saturday they were aware of the video and had assigned the case to a detective. Within hours, they announced Collins had been arrested and charged with first-degree cruelty to children.
Now, Gwinnett police say the child suffered minor injuries and is currently being cared for by other family members. The Department of Family and Child Services was...
He'll be back out. He'll be back out. He'll have his kid. It's not even going to be a thing. I could just tell you that right now. All right, so couple different things, couple different thoughts on this. Number one of the reasons why officials were worried about children during the pandemic is because of the amount of abuse and the things that they endured in their household. And in a lot of instances, school was the only place for them to be able to have safety and the potential to be able to report anything that was going on to them at the house. And so when you see stuff like this happen, this is not abnormal. This is very, very normal. The problem with it, the biggest problem with it, is that it happened to a toddler. Because I can't imagine anybody that is 3 years old and under in any way, shape, or form ever deserving that type of abuse. Now, I see some people in the chat and they saying y'all need to mind y'all business. All right, cool. The next time that you getting your head knocked off, we just gonna walk on by. We ain't gonna worry about you, and we gonna let the chips fall where they may. You see what I'm saying? You see how you start to play a dangerous game when you tell people to mind your business? Back when I was growing up, we lived in an environment where the neighbors were participatory, and that's where community came from. We had neighborhood watch. We had older people that would wait and pay attention. And when you got into the house to make sure that everything, or if anything was off, or you got home a little bit too late, they would call to find out and make sure that you was okay, because that's not normal for you to be coming in at that time of the night. And so we so busy getting caught up in the devil's playground and doing things that we're not supposed to do. And that's the only time that you tell people to mind their business. The only time that I've ever heard somebody say, mind your business, is when you was doing something that you wasn't supposed to do. Because I'm never going to be problematic with somebody that's overly concerned about my safety. And so we pick and choose when we want that to apply. Oh, mind your business because I'm doing something I ain't supposed to do. Shut up, lady, you a Karen. But then when it comes to your own safety and compromising the things that you're supposed to do, how come ain't nobody help me? And let me also say this before we go over to the next story. Everybody not meant to be a parent. Everybody not meant to be a parent. When I said that we need to take competency courses and we need to be able to take care of these children and so on and so forth, I get so much pushback. But this is an example of why everybody is not meant to be a parent. Anyways, moving on. Last but not least, Jordan Chiles was stripped of her bronze medal as a result, and she was ordered to return it back even after taking pictures and holding it up for the camera.
All right, now to the Olympics and that unfortunate news for American gymnast Jordan Chiles, the 23-year-old Olympian being forced to return her bronze medal.
It comes after the sport's highest court overturned a ruling that brought her the bronze medal in the first place. KTLA's Omar Lewis is live in studio with the very latest this morning. Omar, what's going on?
Yeah, good morning, Megan and Lauren. We can tell you from heroics to heartbreak, the floor exercise fiasco in Paris has sparked an Olympic-sized controversy. This morning, the International Olympic Committee announcing that Jordan Chiles must now return that bronze medal she won in the Paris Olympics floor exercise after sport's highest court said her score was judged improperly. That decision came less than 24 hours after the Court of Arbitration for Sport voided a scoring appeal made by Team USA coach Cecile Landy during the competition that vaulted Jordan Chiles onto the podium. The IOC announcing it is now.
Quentin, you said she gets to keep it? That's my official Olympian. This is my official Olympic correspondent And sports correspondent Quentin, he will be at the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles, ladies and gentlemen.
Now reallocating the bronze from Monday's women's floor final to Romanian Ana Barbossu. Chiles originally placed 5th during Monday's final floor exercise, but Team USA coach Cecile Landy called for an inquiry on her score. Moments later, the judges upgraded Chiles' score, giving her enough points to place 3rd. The CAS ruled Saturday that the on-floor appeal by Landy to have 0.1 added to Chiles' score came outside the 1-minute window allowed by the International Gymnastics Federation. Landy's inquiry came 1 minute and 4 seconds after the score was posted. USA Gymnastics and the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee said they were devastated by the CAS ruling, adding that throughout this appeals process, Jordan has been subject to consistent, utterly baseless, and extremely hurtful attacks on social media, treatment that no athlete should be subject to, they said. Chiles posting this on her Instagram page, saying that she is taking this time and removing herself from social media for her mental health. Teammate Simone Biles also posted on a message on Instagram supporting Jordan Chiles, saying, "Sending you so much love, Jordan. Keep your chin up, Olympic champ. We love you." And Chiles' sister coming to her defense as well, saying, "In the history of the Olympics, no one has ever been stripped of their medal in a situation like this." Her sister went on to say, "There are 2 ways you can be stripped of a medal, cheating or doping, and Jordan did neither." The IOC says in a statement it will be in touch with the U.S. Olympic Committee regarding the return of Chiles' bronze medal and will work with the Romanian Olympic Committee to discuss a reallocation ceremony to honor Barbossu. That's the latest for now. Here live in the studio this morning, Lauren, Megan, we'll send it back.
Oh, I feel so bad for her. Listen, this is just the way that things go. I do think that the judges need to be held accountable, but it is what it is. I don't really care about the Olympics like that because of the way that they disrespected my Jesus. And then on top of that, I heard that it was 2 tough boxers that beat up on all of the women. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is your quick hits. All right, let me read some of the super chats, and then we're going to go ahead and get it popping with the show. Shout out to Gene. Gene says, "Thanks, AD, for looking forward to it. You're the truth. Thank you, my friend, for supporting the platform, and I appreciate you." Shout out to my rich friends. Hey, Anton, hope all is well. Any advice on finding a solid tax strategist? I would not look them up on Google. I would be asking people that make a significant amount of money who they recommend for a tax strategist. I would not just go on Google. I think that you can get your Googles on. But a tax strategist is much different than an accountant, for example, right? And let me tell you guys what the difference is. A person that looks at it and is a CPA or an accountant or whatever it is that you want to call them, right? And I want to make sure that y'all understand that this is much different than your local H&R person, okay? So this is for people that are making a significant amount of money, or they need to make sure that they get their bookkeeping in order, and they want to make sure that they reduce their taxes. An accountant is a person that operates by the law, that ultimately gives you or works on your behalf to make sure that all of your books is right and that you're getting the right write-offs and all of this other type of stuff. A tax strategist is much, much different. A tax strategist is a person that is working on your behalf to ensure that you don't have to pay as much in taxes legally, while at the same time increasing your net worth. You see what I'm saying? So for example, they may recommend that you go and spend money on your business in this way in order to add value into your business, while at the same time reducing the amount of money that you got to pay in taxes by having this type of write-off when they start to look at all of the numbers and balance it out. How do we grow this business more effectively while at the same time reducing your tax burden legally, and then at the same time increasing your net worth, right? So a tax strategist is a person that operates on your behalf. They work for you and they are there to save you money while increasing the value of your business from a particular perspective. You see what I'm saying? And then an accountant is a person, or you can look at a bookkeeper. An accountant is a person that ensures that you get the write-offs, or you're doing everything legally, and you making sure you're taking care of business in that way. And so it's 2 totally different things. I would always recommend for a person to ask around for a great tax strategist, not a finesser, a tax strategist, and you need to reach out to your local people or people that are in your circle that ultimately can add value into you by recommending somebody that actually helped them. You see what I'm saying? So a tax strategist is way different. We'll talk about it, Ray Sean. I'll kick it with you. Mr. Lot says, 2 men gone wrong. Yep. Walking into a hotel room. 2 chicks, 3 chicks? Nope. Jamal Park says, I'm late. Did we talk about Dalton Mayer being MIA? Nope, we did not. I'm going to wait for more evidence to come out about that. Quentin says, now they have video evidence. They sent the inquiry at 47 seconds. Quentin is on that stuff. Shout out to my girl, P. Shank says, good morning, Mr. Anton Daniels in the Millionaire Morning Show. What up, P. Shank? I appreciate you. Antonio Watkins says, seeing you live on Georgia Giant Slayer. I don't know how it popped into my algorithm. Great job, big bro. Shout out to you. I appreciate you also for showing me love. J-Dub says, good morning to the greatest audience. Do you have high expectations for Elon and Trump interview today? I will be live streaming that interview today. I will be live reacting to the interview from Trump. I think it is at 7 p.m. Eastern, so we got a lot going on today. Let me give y'all some announcements. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. But we got a lot going on today. One of the first things that I want to announce to y'all is that I will be going live on the Anton Daniels channel of Elon Musk and Trump. So that will be a Anton Daniels show exclusive, Elon Musk and Trump, and that live stream. And I will be live streaming it in order to break that down for y'all in real time. That's number 1. Number 2, we got the Q show. That's at 10 p.m. Eastern. So we still rocking out on that. And then number 3, I got the Patreon exclusive video. Maybe I should launch the Patreon exclusive video tomorrow, since that's a lot of content. That's a lot of content. I don't have any expectations. I'm just open to the possibility of what if. Shout out to J-Dubs. That's a great question. I appreciate y'all. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all tuning in for that. Make sure y'all subscribe to all of my platforms, because you never know what's going to happen and when I'm going to go live, because I'm dedicated to this movement. Y'all ready to get into the show? All right, let's get to it. So, Rickey Smiley. Rickey Smiley. Some of y'all may know Rickey Smiley as a comedian. Others of you may know Rickey Smiley as a person that has a radio show. I think that radio is dying. I don't even know how they still making money. I don't even know how they still can post advertisements with radio people in the first place, but radio still exists. And Rickey Smiley is also a part of the Divine Nine. And when I say Divine Nine, I'm talking about Black Greek organizations. AKAs, Alphas, Deltas, all of these people, right? And so Rickey Smiley decided that he wanted to throw his hat into the fray and hold Black people accountable for not supporting Kamala Harris or for openly voicing their displeasure with Kamala Harris. And so as we go through this show, I want to break it down for you guys, and I want to review that. And if you have not sent this to your family and friends, then we have conversations not only based off of news, politics, money, all of this other stuff, popular culture, but we want to actually give you an authentic reaction to what is going on. So I want you to think for yourself, but I'm definitely going to give my own opinion, all right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and deep dive into Rickey Smiley. Rickey Smiley decided that he wanted to throw his 2 cents into the ring. And so I'm going to show y'all this for those of y'all that's not familiar, and then I'm going to give y'all my thoughts.
Here's what's happening in news. Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota held their first joint campaign rally together in Philadelphia. Kamala Harris praised Walz, going down his list of titles from coach to congressman and even military veteran. She ended his introduction, Rickey, saying, and in 91 days, the nation will know Coach Walz by another name, Vice President of the United States. Are you excited about Tim Walz? I already know the answer to that question.
Always.
What excites you the most about him?
So the first thing that I have to ask y'all as we go through this is honest to God, when you think about a Tim Walz, who in their right mind, we didn't even like Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris had the lowest, literally, and I don't know how y'all don't see this. She had the lowest approval rating probably of any vice president in my lifetime, let alone history. I can't really look at history as far as going back before my lifetime, but she had the lowest approval rating of any vice president in my lifetime. Who's excited, A, for a vice president, and then B, why would you be excited about Tim Walz?
Just that he's just a regular, like he remind you of your high school principal. He remind you of your high school football coach, and he was a football coach that led his team to a national, not national, but to a state championship. And
he was a part of the football staff. Let's be clear.
For the people, he stand up for women's rights, and he's a popular governor in the great state of Minnesota, which Trump won in 2016. That state was picked off by Joe Biden, and I think we'll definitely get his state and the state of Pennsylvania as well. Either one of those governors would have been a great choice for Kamala Harris. I'm just sick of the black people on the internet talking about I'm not with her. Okay, so if you're not with her, that means you with Trump. And y'all need to block every last one of their asses on Facebook and on.
So that's where he made his first mistake, because everybody is welcome to be able to give their opinion, and everybody could say what they want to say when they want to say it, right? And I don't even, in this chat, I say this all the time. I tell all of my moderators, I say, hey, y'all, have a long leash as long as somebody is not getting overly disrespectful. So you can toe the line. They may give you a little penalty if you say something out of pocket about somebody's kids or something like that, right? And that's what I mean by being overly disrespectful. But I say, yo, listen, if somebody got a difference of opinion than you, or they want to express their thoughts, or they disagree with something that I said or something like that, don't time them out. Don't time them out. Don't sit here and do that. I go back and forth with people inside of the chat all day long. And I ain't tripping about it because I don't want to live in an echo chamber. I don't want to be around people that only agree with me for the sake of agreeing with me. I want people to have their own mind, to think freely, and then also come up to their own conclusion. I don't even disagree with you if you decide that you want to vote for somebody that I don't agree with. I just want you to be able to substantiate your argument. And so the first mistake that he has is he's already embracing cancel culture and telling people, or telling his audience, which we don't care because I don't know who's really checking for Rickey Smiley in the first place. He's telling his audience, block the people that is not supporting Kamala Harris. Block them. Who are you? Who are you to tell somebody to block somebody because they have a difference of opinion than you? Where they do that at? Where they do that at? What kind of nonsense is that in the first place? And we have to be more responsible. And so even me, I'm very, very much being a lot more responsible with my wording, with the way that I communicate with people, the whole thing, because I understand that with more visibility comes more power. And so I have to be a lot more tolerant. I have to have thicker skin. And this is the way in which I communicate with people. Let's continue.
Instagram and social media and stop. Like, that's just garbage.
Yeah.
It's just garbage.
Can
Everybody
we be
got
united
to find,
on anything?
Can't agree on a damn bucket of chicken. One person want a hot dog.
I always complain.
Black folks get on my damn nerves, man. Why everybody making all these celebrities making all these videos going off on Kamala Harris and stuff, and then the black men, Kamala Harris didn't prosecute you and treated you bad in court. I got treated bad in court too. But I'm with her because a vote for her. If you sit at home and you don't support her, you are definitely supporting Donald Trump. You can vote for who you want to, but don't be trying to encourage other people and sit up there and put bad stuff. Where's that same energy for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
So don't do what he's doing to Kamala Harris. Got it. Let's listen to some more.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm just like, don't vote for him. It is what it is.
Y'all not even out here doing real research to look at her record. If you do the research or whatever, stop believing everything you read and do real research, you can see what a record is. You can see what she have done. I think you can Google what have Kamala Harris done for the black community or things that black people benefit from.
Let's do it. I'm not one to avoid getting into the fray. I'm with it. Let's Google what Kamala Harris has done for the black community. Why not? Honestly, like I didn't even think about doing this. I was just going to react to the video. But why not just let's Google what Kamala Harris has done for the black community in particular, all right? So let's deep dive into that. And I'm all for it. Let's expand this. What has Kamala Harris done for the black? Let me blow this up for the people. So according to the New York Times, the first thing that pops up is for more than a year, this is one day ago, according to the New York Times, Miss Harris has paid close attention to the signs of erosion among black voters, and specifically men. From the Democratic Party, she has invited black male business leaders and heads of grassroots organizations to her official residence to hear their concerns. Wow, I mean, this is impressive. I can't believe all of the things that I'm seeing that she's done for the black community. Let's see if we can scroll a little bit. I don't see anything in particular. I see a lot of these recent things. Vice President Kamala Harris speaks about Florida's new 6-week abortion ban. Barely a week, Kamala emerged, top Democrat. He said, I'm following his lead and Googling, she's a symbol of representation. Interesting. Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't able to find anything in particular. I'm sorry, Rickey Smiley. He said, I think you can Google her and find out what she's done for the black community. Let me make sure that I heard that correctly.
From a lot we done for the black community. See what she have done. I think you can Google what have Kamala Harris done for the black community, or things that black people benefit from. A lot. We need to stand with her. Yes. We need to stand with her. She's great. She will make a great president. And what a blessing to be living in a time where a black woman can become president of the United States of America. In our time, we get a black man and a black woman become president. That's unheard of.
Come on.
Identity politics. Identity politics. This is what they standing on, y'all. Listen, listen. Oh my God. I can't help it, but I have to go here and I just have to express my thoughts. Let me put my iPad up real quick. I hate y'all. I hate you, older generation of men that have led us astray. And I don't hate you for who you are as an individual. I hate you for what it is that you continue to espouse and what you represent to us as men. I hate you. I hate everything that y'all have done to throw us under the bus and have not in any way, shape, or form. And I can't even say that this is relative to me in particular. And so when I speak to the majority, not the minority. But I have to speak on behalf of all of the culture itself, especially for the gatekeepers like the Rickey Smileys, who's largely had a microphone for a long time, but has never really done anything meaningful to it as far as making sure that he adds value into the people's lives, but continue to try to prevent us from thinking and then making informed decisions on what's best for our families. I hate y'all. I do. I genuinely hate you. I hate what you represent. I hate that you are part of these organizations that are demonic. I hate that you don't really stand for what Christian values really is about. I hate that you continue to live this happy wife, happy life while not being a reflection of the thing that you advocated for, at the same time throwing other people under the bus. I hate the fact that y'all continue to push this narrative that we just supposed to be blind sheep being led into the mire, and y'all absolutely 100% fumbled back. I hate the fact that you wore a dress. As a grown man, see, it would be different if you was a teenager or a little guy, something you ain't know no better. You was a grown man. You made an informed decision to wear a dress. Everything about you and everything about what you represent, you need to stick to being a comedian, because when I see these rappers and these entertainers and these other people sit here and try to insert themselves into a conversation because they plants and you've been a plant for your entire life. Oh, we don't need no government organization to put you in place. We know that y'all are easily finessed just based off of the money. And you know what the worst part about these type of guys are, is that they then leverage black women in a black church in order to validate their position. Black women in the black church are the most vulnerable to you type of predators. And a predator is not just a person that preys on children or anything like that, because I'm not levying that type of accusation towards him, but a predator is a person that preys on the weak. It's a lot of weak listeners out there. It's a lot of weak people. And they weak because they ain't know no better. They weak because they was raised by their mama in a single parent household. They weak because they went to the church and they was looking for forgiveness and they was looking for growth. And then they ran into people like y'all that gave them plays and dresses and movies and all of this stuff. And you never put the medicine inside of the candy, because let's be clear, I'm all for entertainment and entertainers, but at the same time, I'm also for responsibly adding value into people's lives. And these type of guys are worse than anything that we've experienced in our lifetime, because they continue to push this trope and push this narrative, and they're not even objective enough to say, let me hear what you got to say. They saying you either get on cold or get out. Block them. But we don't care no more. We don't care because we seen that y'all was the failed fathers. We seen that y'all had the keys and you never passed the gems along. We seen that y'all was the ones that was the freest amongst us, these Gen Xers and these boomers. And don't get me wrong, it's not everybody, but it's a whole lot of y'all, especially black men. These Gen Xers and these boomers, they had the best jobs, they had the best opportunities, and they all crackheads. They crackheads in real life, and they crackheads spiritually, and they crackheads, and they're completely depleted mentally. They have no masculinity in them. That's why it's so easy for them to advocate for the things that's wrong for us. That's why it's so easy for them to sit there and pander, because they don't have nothing in them to stand forward and say, hey, listen, this is what it is that we need to be doing, and this is how we're going to move forward. I could respect you even if you had a difference of opinion, if you had a level of masculinity, you stood for something. But you know what they stand for? Continuing to have you tied to a plantation, saying, why y'all not on code? Hey, listen, we don't care about if Obama's landmark legislation was focused on the alphabet community. We don't care about the fact that this woman literally left y'all borders open in order for y'all neighborhoods to be infiltrated. We don't care about the fact that you can't go to the grocery store and be able to get a basket full of groceries for $300, $400, $500, $600. We don't care about the fact that it's really a class war, but they leveraging y'all suckers in order to push this race narrative, because we know that it's not conducive for the people that ultimately is supposed to be picking our leaders. We don't care about what happened to your sons. We gonna advocate for a person that put tampons inside of a man's bathroom. They ain't got a shred of masculinity in them. They paid off. They sold they soul. Sold they soul. Don't stand on nothing. Sold they soul and don't stand on nothing. I used to have respect for Rickey Smiley because he told good jokes. I don't respect these suckers as a man. I don't. I don't respect anything that they stand for. They have lost all credibility within the community as far as I'm concerned. And just because you're supported by a bunch of women don't mean that you're a man. Let's hear some more what he got to say.
Stop it, messy.
Be on
Stop
the right
it,
side of
people.
history. Be
Yeah.
on
Stop
the
it.
right
Be
side.
on the right side of history.
That's so, it's just the Amber Rose and everybody got all these videos and stuff and talking about Kamala Harris talking out of both sides of her. How would you say something so disrespectful? Even if you felt that way, I wouldn't dare make a video or say nothing like that to the vice president.
Shut up. Just shut up. Look, this is what they telling us. Shut up and be a part of the go along, get along gang. Shut up and dribble. Y'all had a lot of smoke for Laura Ingraham, but you ain't got no smoke for Rickey Smiley, huh? Because I believe that it's worse when it comes from within. Look, if an enemy out there says to me, man, Anton, I don't like you, forget your whole family, I hope that you die, I don't even bat an eye, because I'm expecting it. It's going to be people that is the enemy that you ultimately have to slay. I could respect my enemies because they absolutely transparent about what it is that they want to do. And we can get it in and let's rumble. I'm with it. But you don't expect it from the person that's supposed to be closest to you. And these are the people that you say that you respect.
Then of the United States of America that's trying to stand up and that's going to possibly pick 2 United States Supreme Court justices or whatever to try to keep the laws in place that Thurgood Marshall and all of the people that have paved the way and try to redo and get back into some of this settled law, women's rights to choose, your voting rights, and Brown versus the Board of Education. Do your homework, black
hold
people.
up. Let me just tell you something right
and
here.
And they really be thinking that they cooking. Look, I'm telling you, there's nothing worse than a black person that throws out a bunch of words, word salad, and don't have nothing to substantiate it with. These people would fold in front of a microphone, in front of a person like me, I would absolutely, confidently, I got my Tiege Hanley, don't worry about it, get that Tiege Hanley, I would confidently destroy every last one of these people in any subject, on any arena, in any platform, bar none. They fear you. They fear you when you're informed. And so they stand in their own little silo amongst their own little group. But I'm telling you, I will meet these people in any place at any time with a platform to where they don't edit it and watch how they fold. I will absolutely destroy them and ruin their whole careers. I will destroy every piece of them because God ain't with them. I'm telling you right now, God ain't with these people. I will confidently walk into a room by myself, no help. Thank you, Siri. No help amongst the room of your favorite leaders that you think can debate and is smart as hell, and I will destroy every last one of them without even blinking. This C student from Detroit, Michigan, born in 1982 on Green Lawn between Norfolk and Chippewa, 8 Mile and 7 Mile, Livernois in Wyoming, will absolutely, confidently walk into any room with any of these suckers that throw all of this word salad at y'all, and I will ruin their life. I will have their people that surround them asking, what the heck did you do, and why did you mess up the bag like that?
Historic, and Kay pointed this out to me. If Kamala Harris is elected, she would be sworn in.
She could be sworn in
MLK Day.
Who was the last person that played that game with me? Who was y'all last black intellectual that played that game with me and it didn't go the way that y'all thought that it was going to go? Who was the last leader that y'all said? Who was the last leader that y'all said was intellectual, college educated, professors, works at university, is some of the most esteemed doctors and all of the master's degrees and all this kind of? Who was the last person that stood in front of me and suffered? I ain't got to say it.
Black Supreme
and
Court.
And possibly by Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Yeah.
Does that not give you chills?
Come on. Stop it.
Does that not send
Maria?
Just make your whole body vibrate.
Maria,
oh my
I can go deep into that. You got a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated reading in a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated into the damn White House. What's wrong with y'all?
Come on, man.
MLK holiday.
But y'all mad because she ain't talking about reparations.
Who was a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated?
Come on now.
Come on now.
Game.
Oh my God,
Game
that just
changer.
gave me chills. That gave me chills.
Game changer, dog.
Game.
Man,
Talk about game.
Y'all better come get me off this radio today.
Come get him.
Hey, you can keep going. You want to keep going, dog? You want to keep going? Oh, they ain't gonna be mad at you today, Rick. Hey,
I don't care. Well, stop me.
Go, dog. Go.
I don't care about who get mad. I know I'm right.
Exactly.
I know I'm right. Y'all need to stop. Do y'all realize Medgar Evers died for voting rights? All these people that have risked their life from slavery up until the civil rights.
Who was the last person that he talked junk about? Who was the last person that Rickey Smiley talked junk about? I'm just curious. Because I've been not liking him for a long time. Somebody in the chat let me know, who was the last person that Rickey Smiley talked negatively about?
Rights movement, just where we can have an opportunity to do what we do, to do what we can do. We ain't seen nothing like this since Barack Obama was running for president in 2008. We need to stop.
The great John Lewis.
Right. John Lewis and Ralph Abernathy. All of these people that have paved the way for us. We are the new civil rights leaders. We got to get behind people like Ben Crump and Kamala Harris and all these people out here that's doing, like Roland Martin and all of these people that's out here. And Joy Reid. If you want to be educated, if you really want to know the truth, all you got to do is turn to MSNBC and watch Joy Reid, and she gonna give you a whole history lesson every night on MSNBC, and then after that, Rachel Maddow. All you gotta do is just watch.
And it's not opinion, it's facts.
Don't do this right here.
Yeah, and
don't be on the internet doing Kamala Harris like that.
Yeah,
I don't care what issue you got with black women. Your mama's a black woman. How about that? Let's start there.
I don't care what, and I'm talking to the men right here. Your mother is a black woman. Don't forget that. Don't forget that your sister is a black woman. And as a black man, I stand proudly with Kamala Harris this morning with tears in my eyes. It means.
With tears in my eyes. Hey, this is what a photo op would do for y'all. This is what a photo opportunity would do for y'all. Thank you to my rich friends. I'm going to be reading those super chats shortly. This is what a photo op will do for y'all. Honest to God. It's the worst thing ever. It's the worst thing ever. I was talking to my good friend Brian McKnight about Rickey Smiley. I was talking to Brian. I can't speak for him. I will never speak for Brian. But I will say that Rickey Smiley is really a paid op, y'all. He is. He's a paid op. Real talk. This is what people would do for a photo op.
So much to me. Do you know that lady picked up the phone and called me when my son died? How about that? How about how personal her and Joe Biden has been? How about Joe Biden wrote me a letter naming my grandkids and naming my son's name in a personal handwritten letter?
Oh,
how kind, how thoughtful, how genuine.
So Joe Biden, his campaign and the people around him decided to write you a letter because they know that you are part of the media and they're going to be able to leverage you later. And they called you and got you on the phone and said, oh my God, Rickey. Now rest in peace, because I will never talk negatively about somebody's family members. So that's not a part of what we're talking about. But we're talking about a group of men that ultimately bow or bend the knee simply because somebody is giving them some visibility or they gave a photo op to them. You got a national TV show. What do you think is going to happen? But guess what? What was the name? Chat. Y'all let me know because I'm a C student. Check this out. What was the name of the young girl who the migrant killed? Because listen, they're going to pick and choose the people that they want to call and give visibility to. What was the name of the young girl that the migrant killed that wasn't supposed to be over here as a result of them leaving the borders open? What was it, Laney? What's her name, y'all? Y'all, I don't feel like Googling it. Y'all just let me know what the name of that woman's name is, that young girl's name is. Because they will definitely reach out to Rickey Smiley, but they won't say her name. I have not seen Biden or Harris in any way, shape, or form. They're going to make sure that they tap into the black community in order to mention Laken Riley. Thank you to the chat. Laken Riley. I wonder why they was able to reach out to Sonia Massey, who should not have been killed, by the way. Absolutely should not have been killed unjustly by that police officer, in my opinion. I wonder why they called Rickey Smiley, but they won't call Laken Riley's parents. Why won't they say Laken Riley's name? Why won't they say Laken Riley's name? You know why? Because it doesn't fit into what it is that they're trying to do. They don't want to take any responsibility or accountability whatsoever. It's not on them. This is what I'll say to black people. This is what I want to say to black people. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. These people are not your friends. They are paid plants. They are paid plants. Wake up. Stop subjecting yourself to these people that is pushing this agenda on y'all that do not have your best interests at heart. Wake up. Wake up. Rickey Smiley is very much one of those type of guys that only joined a fraternity because he was trying to get boxed in college. Wake up. He didn't even believe in the real values of the fraternity. They went to the parties. They didn't go to the community services. Wake up. They did that for a photo op. Wake up. You still following people that have given you zero value in your life? Wake up. Don't worry, we're going to get there. I'm trying not to get overwhelmed. I'm trying not to get overwhelmed. We definitely going to get there. Let me read some of these super chats and we're going to go over to the next part of the show. LTG says, let's talk game says, for the collection plate, appreciate all you doing for the bag chasers. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. We got a phenomenal group that we running up. Will Livingston says, the research for Kamala is high groceries, gas, and rent. And immigration into this country. That's a fact. Shout out to my rich friends, Fi Brown. I got to show you some love, Fi. I got to show you some love, Fi. Fox says this fool stated the Delta would be swearing in an AKA on MLK Day who was an alpha as his best reason as to why you should vote for her. Like we give a F about all of these sororities and fraternities. People is out here starving in real life. AD, 30% of black people go to college and only 1% pledge Greek. So why would the average American care about your Greek symbolism? And we don't. We don't. That's the thing. Big Hertification says Rickey Smiley and D.L. Hughley work for Reach Media. Reach Media also owns Reach Vote that funds liberals and their agenda. Look at their websites. Ooh, so now y'all starting to deep dive. Willis Addison says these shameless boule rats, sick of these traitors. They'll throw you under the bus. Shout out to my girl sister. Shout out to my girl sister. Sister says, good morning, AD. Fooled me once with Obama, shame on you. Fooled me twice with Chameleon Kim, shame on me. I'm not going. Trump 2024. Shout out to my baby girl. Talvish is in the building, says, thank you for calling out the culture, Anton. I've been saying the culture. Hey, remember when I said that I get there. I get there. I am DPP, discipline, prioritize, and purpose, says, let's be honest, the black sororities don't do nothing for the community. I don't know anything about that. I don't know what they do. I can't speak on them in particular. Prince Elian says, I can't rock with these divine nine pro-blacks. They whine about white folks, but indoctrinate themselves into Greek fraternities and sororities. Ooh. Ancient Greeks were big supporters of the rainbow lifestyle. We know that they like little boys. Rod says, you see copycat? Yep, I did see it. Copycat copying Trump on policy, no tax tips. Tax on tips must be. Yes, I seen it. I absolutely seen it. That man cooking today, I don't like these people. Real talk. I'm going to be honest with you. Yella Marie says, I got that super sticker for you. Thank you, Yella Marie. Zelly out in the building. Will Livingston says, we can't get past the basics of surviving, let alone talking about Ukraine. We just forgot about the wars. No worries. We're going to send that money over there. TX Trina BR says, keep cooking with truth, grease. You are needed, appreciated, and may the Most High continue to bless and protect and prosper you, fam. Hashtag the Lord's work. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you, Miss Crotty Shetty in the building. Thank you for holding me down, Miss Crotty Shetty. Thank you. Chris Monroe, STL says, this for the Destroy the Whack Leaders Fund, like Rickey Smiley, Roland Martin, Isaac Hayes, D.L. Hughley, and any other person, Charlamagne the God, telling you not to think. We're going to talk about him next. Keep your foot on their neck. I got you, big dog. Shout out to my rich friends. Thank you to DPP in the building. Says, this certificate curriculum is an acknowledgement from these employers that they're going to need to train Americans for those jobs since the Trump administration has made it clear it will work hard or it will be harder to rely on foreign talent. Now they got to pay American workers. Ain't that what we wanted? Thank you for supporting the platform. Bitcoin Brown in the building says, I wish Rickey Smiley would get on a smoke call with you, AD. These clowns, nah, they don't want that. I'll ruin their life. Ash says, you are 100% correct about the boomers and the Gen X black men selling out male leadership, masculinity, and fatherhood. I was always in a position with a lot of black men in my generation, mostly pro-black simps and son husbands. Shout out to my dog, Ash. Few more, and then we're going to move over with the show. Wealth Building Journey says, not sure why Smiley is shilling so hard for Harris. Not like he's going to be in a position of influence when the Harris-Walz administration. They'll do it for pennies, man. They'll do it for clout. No Excuse Lifestyle Rocky K says, what up, AD? Oh, my goodness, after he brought up Joy Reid and Roland Martin, I could not take Rickey Smiley seriously. Rickey Smiley is the definition of a son husband. Turtle Island says, Rickey is showing how, you know what it is. I can't say that. Tia Marie also says, keeping black people within the bondages of victim mentality is profitable for these so-called black influencers. They are the real sellouts because they don't want people to actually think for themselves. J Dub says, Joy Reid should have lost all credibility when she interviewed Byron Donald, facts, and he said black families were together more during the Jim Crow era with fathers in a household. Phil Knight in the building says, Jocelyn Nungare, say her name also. Man, listen, let's get into it. Let's deep dive, y'all. Let's dive. So, Charlamagne, another one. Charlamagne was being held accountable by his own callers on his show, and he had no rebuttal whatsoever. But he is shilling for this woman, and I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's because she is a woman. Maybe it's because at some point in her life, she was in a position to be able to use what she got to get what she want, like Diamond from the Players Club. I don't know what it is, but they shilling harder for her than they did for other people and other leaders that was before her. You are never going to get this level of support. Listen, the disrespect that Charlamagne had for Candace Owens on her when she came up to the Breakfast Club in enemy territory is unreal. It's unreal. They don't care. Let me help y'all to understand why. And some people said, and I want to go over this Charlamagne interview. Let me help you to understand why you need to stop being friends with these people, because even in the Christian community, we're told we got to go over there and win souls. I didn't hear that nowhere in the Bible. I didn't hear that I had to go and compete for anybody. All I heard was you spit the word, let the chips land where they may, and people are going to have their own relationship with God, which then translates into them having to make an informed decision as to whether or not they want to save or not be saved. I was not told that I had to go and win anything. And so y'all keep going over here in enemy territory. Candace Owens, she went over on the Breakfast Club, and I'm assuming that she got more visibility as a result of it. I don't know where any of it actually benefited her, but she went over there on the Breakfast Club, and let me just tell you something. It was a zero-sum game because they still don't like her. You going over into these places thinking that these people now going to start liking you. They don't like you. They don't like you. What you think that there's supposed to be some level of respect for you, they don't like you. Y'all keep going over into enemy territory with no objective and no agenda. If it doesn't benefit you in any way, shape, or form, you're not going to convince these people who are ultimately paid shills. That's like trying to convince a woman that is in an abusive relationship to leave. She not leaving until she ready to leave. And I learned that from Christianity. I learned that from studying the Bible. And that you can't tell somebody that they have to love God. The only thing you can do is give them the option to do so and educate them, which ultimately is going to be their decision. Because God is to be revealed, not pushed on people. He's to be revealed, which means that in time, everybody is going to have to come and answer for everything that they did. And it's ultimately going to be something that you're going to have to come to the conclusion that this is the best thing for you. Often at times, most people don't even find God until they find themselves at the bottom of the barrel or at their lowest point in life. It's to be revealed to you. And so you going over there trying to shill for these people, all they going to do is talk about you when you leave behind your back, because it don't matter what kind of facts you give them. It don't matter what it is that you tell them. It don't matter how much education you give them. You can tell that woman to leave that abuser, but she not leaving until she fed up, she tired, and she tired of getting fed up. And then ultimately, she going to walk away from the thing that she know was never best for her in the first place. This is Charlamagne on ABC. I want to fast forward it a little bit because it's a lot of preview stuff.
Certainly right about what would happen if Biden debated Donald Trump. 6 months later, we talked to him about the state of the race now, how Kamala Harris can win and how she could lose. I think it was exactly 6 months ago we sat down, or just about 6 months ago, and you said that there was no main character energy with Biden. Nobody was inspired by the Democratic ticket. But what about now?
Main character energy.
Oh, there's definitely a lot of main character energy on the Democratic ticket. I mean, that's always been my frustration, you know, from the beginning, right? Because we know who the vice president is. We know who Kamala Harris is. Like, she has super main character energy.
And I think you
What the... Pardon my English. I'm not going to curse. I was going to curse. I almost lost my mind, but I'm not going to curse because I understand that y'all playing me inside of the office, the churches, the daycares, and all of that stuff. So I got you. I got you. Don't worry. I got you. What the freak is main character energy? What in the world are these shills talking about? What the heck is main character energy? She definitely got main character energy. What the heck is main character energy? I need somebody. Look, does Kim Jong-un has main character energy? Does Putin have main character energy? Just asking a question. What do we care about main character energy? Why is this even a conversation? Why is this a thing? Main character energy?
said the race was between the crooks, the cowards, and the couch.
Yeah.
And the couch, meaning apathy, was gonna had the lead. What about now?
I think there's less apathy, but if I'm the Democrats, I'm not spiking the football yet. The job is not done. You still have to bring this thing home. in November, I think that there's a lot of energy. People keep calling this the honeymoon phase. I don't think it's a honeymoon phase. I just think people haven't been
I swear to God, on everything I love. I know I ain't supposed to swear to God, but I promise you on everything I love that these people be watching my live streams. On everything that I love, these people be paying attention to my viral videos. On everything I love, these people take every single talking point. Listen, I'm going to preface this conversation by saying that I looked at the first 3.5 minutes of this interview. And everything that he said is things that I was saying verbatim addressing on my platforms. I'm telling you, these people, they listen, they pay attention. I had people that was calling me and was saying, Anton, you got to be careful because you might lose this sponsorship opportunity that might be coming your way because it's some people that's really paying attention to you. They really looking at you. It's some people that's prominent, that's really focused on your platform. I'm telling you, these people be listening and stealing y'all talking points and they don't even give you credit for some of the stuff that you be saying.
energized in the Democratic Party in a long time. I think a lot of voters, even if you're not a Democrat, if you're an independent, or an undecided person, you haven't been energized for something in a long time. The last time we felt energy in a campaign was 2008 when President Barack Obama first ran.
These people steal so many talking points. And I know it's easy to say, oh man, you ain't the person that came up with it. Stop it, bro. It ain't about coming up with it. It's about popularizing it. And I literally have used these exact same talking points in the same video with about the same distance of length in between the talking points itself. And next thing you know, I see these people on these paid organizations, these liberal platforms using the same conversations. When was Charlamagne ever educated or well-spoken enough to be able to articulate himself in this way? Don't y'all know that most of our leaders is dumb? Most of our leaders is dumb. Honest to God. They are stupid. And the reason that it's easy for you to for them to be stupid is because it's easy to manipulate them. All you got to do is give them some talking points, say hi, be friends with them, and then they'll love you for life. They're going to go over there and they're going to shill for you for life. I swear, honest, man.
This feels like, whoa, there's like real energy. You want to be involved in some way.
That crowd we saw in Michigan.
Absolutely.
Was something else.
And look at all the new registered voters.
Yeah.
Like when people are energized enough to say, hey, I want to go out and register to vote and be a part of this process, that's when you know you got real energy.
He's used energy about 16 times so far, and I'm sure that they edited out more. So far, we only 2 minutes into this video, and he's used the word energy 16 times. 16 times. Do you know that when they came to Michigan, they didn't even leave the airport hangar? They never even came into any of the cities whatsoever, that they bust people in there, that they're paying influencers, and we're going to get into that in the next part of the show. You see it on the bottom of the screen. They're paying influencers to then come into these communities or people to shill for Kamala Harris because she has no visibility whatsoever. Those protesters continued to shout her down and they held her accountable. And they did not agree with her over in Michigan. And people over in Michigan was not rocking with her at all. But she had main character energy.
She had protesters out in Michigan.
You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that. Otherwise, I'm speaking.
Is that main character energy to y'all? Is that main character energy, y'all?
What did you make of the way she shut them down?
I've seen that before. She shut me down like that. We've seen it on TV when I had my talk show on Comedy Central. She shut me down like that. So who's the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlamagne. It's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe Biden. And don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president.
That's how she shuts you down behind the scenes as well, if you're having a conversation. And it's not a shutdown. It's just to listen, respect me. I'm the most powerful woman in the world. I want you to listen to me.
So you said something when we spoke 6 months ago. You said Biden should don't debate. Whatever you do not debate Donald Trump.
Was I right?
Did he? What you said? You said that Trump would make him look old and frail.
I don't know why people didn't see this coming. That was the other frustrating thing. I'm glad that, they have a lot of energy in the party now, but they could have done this a year.
Maybe we should have a counter for the word energy. I think we should almost have a Charlamagne counter for the word energy. Energy, 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 energy. She got main character energy. They got a lot of energy. Energy, taking away the energy. Donald Trump, energy for Biden, energy.
A year ago. And they could have avoided all of the backlash they're receiving now where people are saying, oh, there was no primary. The people didn't decide this. This was a coup that the party did. It's like, yo, you could have avoided this a year ago because we all saw this way back when.
Nobody stood up to run against him. I mean, Dean Phillips, but no major national
Because it was all
figure.
planned. It wasn't a thing. We all know what was going on. It was all planned. This is not even a... Look, man, fool me once. You can't fool me twice. It was all planned. We knew. Everybody knew. I talked about it way before that on the Millionaire Morning Show when they ultimately even agreed to do this debate in the first place. And I said it. I said, man, listen, the play is for Kamala Harris. Nobody was confused. Shout out to all of my early supporters. Shout out to everybody that was a part of the movement before we got over 4,600 people in here, and the likes on YouTube alone, and the likes is absolutely abysmal. Over 4,600 people in here, and the likes is absolutely abysmal. Shout out to the early people that's been rocking with me for a long time when I called it and I said, hey, man, the play is for Kamala Harris. 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 This wasn't no surprise.
The Democratic side even hinted about challenging him.
Well, they should have been having those backroom conversations with him a year ago.
Yeah.
Actually, they should have been having them 4 years ago. They should have been like, hey, you're a transitional president. You're here for, a good time, not a long time. And we are going to set up the future of the Democratic Party. Because they got a fantastic bench, whether it's the vice president, who's currently running, whether it's Governor Josh Shapiro, whether it's Gretchen Whitmer, whether it's
Gretchen Whitmer, the Michigan governor, the Get S Done governor. I'm the cussingest governor that there is, and Tim Walz might be even more of a cussing governor than me.
Westmore, whether it's Secretary Buttigieg, they got a great bench.
What do you think of the Tim Walz pick? You didn't mention his name just then.
Oh, I didn't know him.
Yeah.
I just
Most of America didn't know him.
I just found out about him over the last couple of weeks. At first, I was a little bit disappointed. Like, I knew we knew she needed a DEI hire, right? We know she needed.
So Tim Walz is the DEI hire on this ticket.
We know
diversity, equity.
That's the first thing that he said that I absolutely agree with. That's the first thing that he said that I absolutely agree with. Tim Walz is the DEI hire. He fit and checked all of the boxes except for the fact that he's a little bit too extreme. He's a DEI hire. He's formerly in the served our country, even though he got a little bit of stolen valor. He was the football coach. He's married. He's a white man, older, got to appeal to a certain demographic. But then at the same time, he put some tampons in some boys' bathrooms. And he's a person that's gender affirming. And he allegedly wanted to switch the flag over in Minnesota to more or less look more similar to the Somali flag because he gave in to immigrants over into his own state. And so that's the only thing that he said that I 100% agree with is that he's a DEI hire.
Inclusion.
She needed a white.
Ain't it crazy now that we've gotten to the point in society where white men are DEI hires? That's yo, have y'all thought about that? White men. I said that on George the Giant Slayer's podcast yesterday, and I said, listen, and you know me, I'm going to say what I think, and I'm going to think what I say. I'm going to keep talking like Kamala Harris usually talk. That I told him yesterday, I said, don't y'all realize that y'all are public enemy number one in America today? Don't you realize that all of America literally hates you? That when you get a position, it's going to be a diversity, equity, and inclusion position because you do not check the boxes anymore, buddy. Tim Walz is a DEI hire. That is insane to even think about in my lifetime, that we are so focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion and identity politics that we've come to the point to where we don't hire the best person for the position. We hire the person that fits and checks all of the boxes. It's insane, bro.
Mail to make America comfortable. It is what it is. No need for us to, you know, act crazy about it. We know what it is.
You've known Kamala Harris for a while. You know her pretty well. What are her politics? Because they're trying to portray her as a
what are her
left,
politics?
The squad.
Hey, y'all! Charlamagne is about to hit us with the insight that we've been chasing, the insight that we can't find on her website, the insight that we've been needing in order to really be able to sway over the moderates and the independents and the people that are on the fence trying to figure out who they're going to vote for. Charlamagne is going to break down for us right here, right now. Right here, right now. He's about to break down for us exactly what her policies and politics is, because of all of this time with her being a senator and district attorney and vice president of the United States of America, we have no clue. It's crazy to think that we don't know where she stands and what her politics are, outside of the fact that she continues to lean on abortion because she knows that that's the emotional play in order to get y'all to vote a certain type of way. Charlamagne is going to break it down for us. Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
All that. Nah, she's very moderate. You know, the thing that I like about her, and her messaging is very clear, even though she doesn't have it up on her website yet, but the messaging is very clear. You know, she wants to rebuild the middle class. You know, she wants to give everybody.
Her messaging is very clear. When we get to the clarity of the message, even though don't nobody know what the message is to rebuild the middle class. How? What policies? What does she stand on? How do you rebuild the middle class when the middle class has been priced out with over 20+% inflation over the last 3 years?
Everybody an opportunity to start a business. She wants to give everybody an opportunity.
I can tell you how to start a business. Go on the website, go on your state government website, file for an LLC, or as a matter of fact, you ain't even got to do that. You're already a sole proprietor by default. So all you got to do is go get your tool belt, get your hard hat, and go out there and start soliciting business. Y'all see this? You see this? She wanted everybody to start a business. What is going on?
To be a homeowner, you know, she's a leader on mental health, right? Like when she launched her first mental health plan when she ran for president, I was with her, you know, in South Carolina. And those are the things that American people care about. Does she?
No. Listen, guys, these paid shills and these gatekeepers are so far removed. Do y'all think that these people will be able to stand in front of me? They would never be able to stand in front of me. They would never be able to stand in front of me. Charlamagne on his own listen, he did a premiere the other day. He can't get 5,000 people into his premiere or his live to save his life. These people cannot stand on their own. They cannot stand in front of you. They can't stand in front of me. They will fold. They will be broken. He can't even list one thing that she stands on from a policy perspective that would actually help Americans. How do you drive down the cost of food? How do you drive down or drive up the home ownership rates? How do you get people to not be foreclosed on because they're house poor? How do you put people in a better position in specific counties where they're being laid off? Because let's be clear, and we're going to get into the layoffs shortly. How do you put people in a better position to be able to provide for their family? Why has the cost of having and raising children exponentially exploded? Is that why you guys left the border open? Because we need a new slave class? Because most people won't and can't do these jobs and still be able to afford to live reasonably? Why has the national debt exploded? How do we get that down? Why has credit card debt and individual debt exploded? Why are people, now that the rent moratorium is up and repossessions are at an all-time high? Why are we now getting into the point to where we basically going back to 2008 because they're doing alternatives when it comes to financing homes? That is literally one of the same things that then incentivize people to do the stuff that caused the housing crash and then the impending recession. It's so many different things that we can have a conversation about. But I guarantee you they have nothing. Oh, she want to rebuild the middle class. My 16-year-old can come up with something better than that.
She need to show some distance between herself and Biden or some differentiation. So how does she do that?
By talking about what she's going to do for the next 4 years. Like, I know that, they want to keep her
Never mind what they did for the last 3.5 years.
Compared to, the successes that they had while she was vice president. And that's cool,
What successes? Can somebody, listen, honest to God, can somebody in here tell me what the successes were? Because I was waiting on them to actually tell me what those were. Listen to what he just said.
The successes that they had while she was vice president, and that's cool. The harp on a couple of those because a lot of those things, were her idea, like the $35 cap on the insulin, things like that.
Diabetes. Are you telling me with borders open, inflation is out of control, jobs and layoffs, 5 proxy wars, China is looking to take over Taiwan, infrastructure is failing, bridges is burning down, cops is leaving their jobs and getting killed, communities is completely being ravaged, crime is exploding, Oakland is on the verge of bankruptcy, Chicago is just absolutely done. You telling me in 3.5 years, the only thing that y'all can get done is a $35 cap on insulin? In 3.5 years, the best thing that you can come up with, the first thing that you stand on is a $35 cap on insulin.
So that's good to say, hey, I was the person.
Now get this dude off my screen. I can't do it no more. I can't. Listen, I tried. I can't do it because these dudes are shills. They're 100% shills. I had a dream last night. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. Honestly, I had a dream last night. You know what happened in my dream? This is the honest to God truth on my father's grave. You know what happened in my dream? They let me interview Kamala Harris because she didn't know who I was with no holds bars. She had to stay there for 2 hours and answer every question that I had. Every question that I had. And the first thing that I asked her is, okay, so let's start off with your background and your history. Why is it that you refuse to present the evidence that would ultimately allow this man on death row to be freed, even though he was convicted under your administration? What is going on with all of these people that's asking questions about the fact that you withheld evidence that would show that their drug cases or cases with regard to marijuana ultimately should have been dismissed because everything was tampered with in the evidence locker room? Why is it that we still have this audio of you saying that you smoked trees in 1986 when you graduated college to Tupac and Snoop Dogg? You know what? Forget all of that. Let's get into the more serious questions. Do you seriously agree with the fact that we have you on camera being listed as the borders are? Why did you go over to Ghana and advocate for the alphabet community over in there and they never wanted that nonsense in the first place? What did you really do inside of the White House? And what is your border policy? And why do you think that you need bipartisan agreement, but then at the same time, y'all was suing Texas to not protect their borders? Why was Brandon Johnson, Eric Adams, Mike Johnson over in Denver, and then Karen Bass, and then Andre Dickens down in Atlanta, why do they have a signed letter that was petitioning you for more funds to continue to fund this migrant crisis that was coming over into the United States of America? Is that something that you want to comment on? I have real questions. I have real questions as to what it is that she did and why y'all think that she's best for y'all communities when she's going to lead y'all down. Why was you over there dancing with Billy Porter on the White House lawn? Listen, this is one of the questions that I came up with when I was sleeping. Honest to God, this is one of my questions. Do you believe in God? We need to know. We need to know. Do you believe in a higher power? Do you believe in God? Do you? I need to know why, if you believe in God, because if you believe in God, then why are you picking a vice president candidate that is gender affirming and is willing to put tampons in boys' bathrooms? Why was you dancing on a White House lawn with Billy Porter and you're advocating for something that you know is not in the best interest, especially when we dealing with this gender war on masculinity? Listen, if you are you pro-black? Are you going to do anything for black people in particular? Thank you. That's what I wanted to know. Okay, so cool. So do you agree or do you disagree with the idea that you have to be pro-black if you are pro-black, or if you really leaning into this whole black thing because you advocating for black people to ultimately vote for you in order to be president of the United States of America? Why you marry a white man? What did Montel Williams do to you that ultimately led you into the arms of a white man if you just so happen to be pro-black? Because I'm pro everybody. I'm pro go where you appreciate it, not where you tolerate it. However, you raising his kids, you raising white kids, and the black community want to know before they throw their support behind you. I got real questions. Honestly, I have real questions that I know that they're paying these influencers to go over to. I'm going to read those super chats shortly, because they're paying these influencers an egregious amount of money to go over to the Democratic National Convention, and they giving them scripts. They're not actually allowing them to ask questions. They're grooming the next generation of Rickey Smileys and Charlamagne the Gods, because they realize that the Rickey Smileys, they've reached their cap, and their audience is actually dwindling because nobody cares and nobody is listening to the radio anymore. And nobody is really paying attention and taking seriously Rickey Smiley. Charlamagne is trying to do a rebrand, but we never forgot about what he did to Lil Mama. He never apologized for that. I'm shocked. Did he apologize for that? It don't matter. That's not what we're talking about. They're paying influencers to go over to the Democratic National Convention, but not just that. They're paying them to create these ads, which is supposed to be organic. And there are several different TikTokers and Instagrammers and YouTubers that has come out and said, including the Kai Cenat, because she was feeling some type of way about the fact that Aiden Ross genuinely and organically wanted to get an interview with Trump, and it was doing great numbers. And so she then reached out to the Kai Cenats, in addition to all of the other influencers, in order to get them to get other people to vote for her and to register to vote in the first place, which is why what Charlamagne the God said was so disrespectful, because he's saying that these people are on their own going out and registering to vote. No, they're being influenced to do what you told them to do because they sheep, which is one of the reasons why we call these people gatekeepers, because they keep on doing things that's not in the best interest of the American people. Let me give you an example. This is a CBS small snippet, because we have limited time. This is a small snippet of how they're leveraging influencers in order to try to get them to ignorantly vote for Kamala Harris. Check it out.
If you've been on Instagram or TikTok over the past day, chances are you've seen videos like these about the new Democratic vice presidential nominee, Tim Walz. They reflect a different kind of campaigning designed to win the newest battleground, our social media feeds. Jolene Ken is here to show us how Democrats have really deployed these influencers, if you will, to attract those young voters. Good morning, Jolene.
Good morning, Jerika. Good to see you. Now, influencers have become a key conduit to reach voters this election, as both parties are trying to gain an edge with Gen Z, a bloc that's estimated to have 41 million eligible to cast a ballot in November. 8 million for the first time.
Look at the volume in this hair.
23-year-old Awasane made a name for herself dispensing beauty tips on TikTok.
I just peed in the White House.
So when she posted this video of her White House bathroom break, her 500,000 followers took notice.
I was just shocked. I was like, did you guys see that marble?
Sane, who met us in Houston, was one of a few dozen influencers invited to the White House to watch the State of the Union and meet President Biden.
He said to us, the collective presence in this room has more viewership on Gen Z than all of traditional media combined. So here's my birth control vlog.
And this is one of the reasons why the Rickey Smileys don't matter anymore. right? Nobody cares what Rickey Smiley says because Rickey Smiley's influence is limited because people like me that know who Rickey Smiley really is, we not checking for him and we not listening to him. And as a matter of fact, he's going to get more pushback than he's going to get love as a result of the things that he's saying. But then these people, and I'm going to give the Democratic Party their flowers. They're smart. I'm going to read those super chats shortly. Thank y'all for supporting the platform. They're smart. They're smart. You know who they go after? They go after the ignorant. They go after the people that they can pay that don't actually have a fully developed brain sometimes. They go after the people that they can pay that ultimately can influence how it is that you vote. So they're not going to ask the pertinent questions. They just happy to be in the room. You see what I'm saying? See, it's a difference between the older generation, some of y'all still that way, and the newer generation. And it's not their fault. You know why? Because they're getting paid. And the only thing they care about is their influence and being able to raise up their brand. But then at some point, they're going to get to the point in their life to where they actually care about how they're affecting people. And it's not just being an influencer. It's being a person that can give you real insight into how you can do things the right way. And that's the difference between an influencer and a creator. A creator actually cares to the point to where I'm affecting you in this way. This is important. I can't just take any old dollar in order to spill this for you. I can't just take anybody's money. I can't just, because I got to pay attention to how I'm going to feel and how I'm going to wake up in the morning and whether or not I'm going to leave this earth in a better place had I not been here. So everybody can't participate. Everybody can't go. You can't just take every sponsorship deal that they give you because it may not be aligned with what it is that you believe as far as what your people will actually support, right? So they tap into the most ignorant among us, ignorant not necessarily being a bad thing, but ignorant not meaning not knowing. They're impressed by Biden. They're impressed by standing in front of Biden and getting them on a video so that they can post it to their followers. For us that's seasoned, that don't mean nothing to us. It ain't gonna have the same impact. It's gonna take a little bit more convincing. Who? I don't even really like him. Nah, that goes against what it is that I believe in. I can't do that. I'm not really, listen, the only way that I'm willing to stand in front of him and meet him is if I can ask him some real questions. If y'all can't help me with that, then I don't want to have that conversation. I'm cool. I'm straight. And that's why I respect Kai Cenat so much. Because Kai Cenat said, listen, I'm bigger than them. I'm bigger than Kamala Harris. They need me. I don't need them. They need me. I don't need them. And so Kai Cenat says, I'm straight. I don't want Secret Service calling me. I don't want nobody around me. I don't want to sit here and go back and forth. It's some things that I'm just not willing to compromise on. Other things you can hold me accountable for, but for that, nah, I'm straight.
It was this viral video she posted after the fall of Roe v. Wade.
Over the United States in my uterus?
That initially caught the attention of a Democratic super PAC. On the right, Turning Point USA has mobilized influencers for years, raising nearly $200 million since 2020.
You realize they're coming for you guys next.
Now, Democratic organizations are flooding the creator community with cash and providing behind-the-scenes access.
Oh, y'all thought that the money was only coming from YouTube? You thought that the money was coming from TikTok? You thought that the money was coming from Instagram? That ain't where the play is. That ain't where the money is. That ain't where the bag is. See, listen, they don't really make that much money on TikTok like that comparatively to what we really would call money. You know what I'm saying? They make enough. They get it. If they got a big enough following, if they followers are engaged, that's cool. The money is shilling for super PACs. They gonna give millions. When y'all give y'all donations and y'all go to the Kamala Harris website, y'all, all right? When you go to the website and you say, you know what? We want to go to Kamala Harris for president, and the first thing that pops up is this. That's where your money going. It's going to them. Hotels, Meg Thee Stallion, all of these people, this is where your money is going to the influencers. I'm telling you.
Harris.
Come with me to meet the President of the United States.
We just have to be working with them. And if we're not, we're missing a huge way that voters are
telling
getting
you
information about the world.
Rob Flaherty runs digital strategy, previously in the Biden White House and now for the Harris campaign.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
He called the highly
so fake,
memeable Harris a massive asset as the campaign reaches out to thousands of influencers.
What kind of coaching do you give influencers acting on behalf of the Harris campaign?
Talking points, resources, base language.
Well, Flaherty says
he's telling you, the person that's running the influencer portion of her campaign is telling you, listen, we give talking points, we give money, we give resources. He ain't gonna say money. We give resources. We gonna fly you out. We gonna tell you where to go. We gonna put you in a hotel. We gonna give you we're not gonna directly pay you. We gonna indirectly solicit these super PACs to then influence what it is that you're doing when it comes to this election.
Harris campaign does not pay influencers directly. CBS News found a constellation of other Democratic political organizations that do. In May, Future Forward, the super PAC supporting Harris, hosted panels like Gaming the Algorithm and how advocacy can benefit your business.
In the first 100 days of a Republican presidency under Trump, Project 2025 talks about sacking thousands of civil.
Listen to her. So now, when y'all see these people coming to my chat, okay? When y'all see these people come into my chat and they say, well, what about Project 2025? Don't y'all realize that these people have done no insight, have done no research, don't have any insight, understanding whatsoever, and will refuse to believe that Project 2025 is associated with a Donald Trump, even though he said that he wants nothing to do with it and he actually has Agenda 47. And so they'll sit here and they'll listen to this woman and to Taraji P. Henson, who are basically paid plants. They're paid plants. She's sitting there and reading to you from the script that they gave her to then put this inside of your brain to make you believe that it's a real thing. This is not a thought that you had on your own. This is something that you're scared of. You scared of it because they pushing it into your algorithm and they making you believe that it's a real thing. And if they keep beating it in your head and they keep saying it, keep saying it, keep saying it, and you're going to sit there and say, well, what about Project 2025, Anton? I already broke that down, big dog. It's nothing. Listen to her.
Of a Republican presidency under Trump, Project 2025 talks about sacking thousands of civil servants.
Last month, Sunday says she was hired by Protect Our Care, a progressive advocacy group that relies on anonymous donors. She made a video warning about
anonymous donors. Anonymous donors.
Trump's second-term agenda.
They almost help you script it, right?
Right, definitely.
She takes their talking points and puts them into her own voice, saying she always discloses when she's being paid.
What's your rate?
So a video just for a creator in my size, an average can go from $3,000 to $10,000 to pay.
What did y'all think the day was going to do? What y'all think the day was going to do? What you thought that Lamborghini Urus was going to pay for itself? You thought that new Benz that they keep popping up on with the red bow on it was going to pay for itself? Boy, election time is the most lucrative time for content creators. That's where all of the super PACs is going to. And let me be very, very, very clear. And this is on everything. On my daughter's life. Nobody. Zero. Not a super PAC, not a Fox News. Nobody. I have not taken money from anybody. Nobody paid me. Nobody says anything to me. Nobody has hired me. Nobody has given me any kind of. I have taken $0. $0 from no side. So when you see me say what I say, regardless of whether or not you agree with me or not, you know it's real. When you see me say what I say, regardless of whether or not you agree with me or not, which is one of the reasons why I tell people, do not censor people in the chat that ultimately is having a disagreement. I really feel this in my heart. When I speak with conviction. I speak fervently because I genuinely have done the research, and this is what I know to be true. This is what I believe in my heart. I have taken $0, not one penny from anybody that is influencing me to tell you anything outside of make sure you get that Tiege Hanley 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Outside of that, because I want your skin to be beautiful. I haven't taken a dime, not one dime from anybody anywhere. You can't buy me. You can't buy me.
Penny and upwards.
This is a bid by campaigns to create authenticity at a small scale.
University of Pittsburgh's Sam Woolley studies political influencers.
How can you tell?
Y'all want me to get paid by them, but I refuse everything from everybody because I will not be compromised and I will not be bought and paid and sold in order to continue to tell y'all something that may or may not be best for y'all. When I give my thoughts, I'm going to give my authentic thoughts. When I get that bag, it's going to be to continue to do what I've already been doing, and I will not be told to do whatever it is that I'm going to do. I am 100% independent. I will remain 100% independent, and anybody that do business with me going to have to understand that this is just what I'm going to do. You can't control me. You cannot control me.
What is a genuine grassroots expression of political opinion versus what's being paid?
Oh, and let's be clear. Somebody said, Anton, you just told us you're not big enough for offer. Okay, cool. Well, I tell you what. How about the fact that we projected to do over 200 million views? No shorts. See, it's easy to finesse the algorithm and be getting all of the views when it comes to TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and on the shorts and the reels and the TikToks and stuff. No, listen, I have watch hours out of the wazoo. I am the biggest, and let's be clear, 100% the biggest content creator on YouTube in Detroit and in Michigan thus far. There is no content creator that is participating in these spaces, having these conversations, that is bigger than me in my city. There is nobody. And trust and believe, I have gotten crazy offers, and I refuse because you cannot buy me. I'm already rich, and I'm not impressed by your money. You're not going to get me to compromise or sell out, or the possibility of jeopardizing what the potential can be for my future for a small little payout. What do I care about 10, 12, 13, 50, $100,000? I don't care nothing about that. We spend that in 2 weeks. My integrity and the fact that I can stand on what I stand on means more to me than a payout. Last year, we did over 110 million views. This year, we projected to more than double that. Of course they're going to throw money at you.
If you see multiple influencers spreading the same exact message, you can start to realize, some kind of coordination is going on.
Next up for Sunday, the Democratic National Convention.
They just told us that if we wanted to put on our own show, that they would give us all the resources to do that.
The Democrats are rolling out the red carpet.
Definitely, and I'm glad to be on it.
The beauty influencer now applying her own filter to this presidential campaign.
Now, when it comes to selling commercial products or sharing financial advice online, federal rules do require influencers to disclose when they are being paid. But in December, the Federal Election Commission voted against similar requirements for influencers spreading political messaging, guys.
I am so fascinated by this, Jolene, because at first I couldn't decide, is this obnoxious or refreshing or creative? And after watching your piece, I've now come down to refreshing and creative, and very smart to do this way.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Learn how to do it. Yeah,
it's interesting, and it's a whole different business model.
Exactly.
For both the campaigns and the super PACs, having a strategy to reach more people. And the key thing here, it's not just influencers with millions of followers.
Yeah.
We're talking about micro influencers. Some people say in Pennsylvania.
See, it's not just people that even got massive followings. It's micro influencer. They throw money to anybody that will take it, that has even a smidget of a following, in order to be able to push their agenda and then influence you to do the thing that's not even in your best interest. It ain't even about how big your numbers is. Listen, you can get a payout regardless. How much the payout is going to be, that depends on how big your audience is.
Yeah, in Bucks County, right, 30 followers.
I love she took you
30 followers. They giving people that got 30 followers a bag, and then they telling them to come to the Democratic National Convention, which you're going to see a whole lot of influencers there. And this is what you see happening in American politics. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to continue over with the show. Y'all like the upgrades that we got? We're going to make upgrades weekly to make sure that we add value into your lives. Let's knock out some of these super chats. Turtle Island says, Charlotte worked for iHeart Kamala's Checks Radio. So that means that he bought and paid for. Yamka says, yo, AD, what's your perspective on Project 2025? I just told you in that last segment. It's an agenda that they pushing. Truck and Blueprint says, Rickey Smiley will do anything for a bag. he played an old lady on First Sunday movie, A True Simp. Stockton, California, or Stockton, CA says, Charlamagne the God and Envy are suburban raised puppets. Envy just trying to be quiet because he's trying to let that real estate thing go away. He don't want that to resurface. He just trying to be real quiet, because if you quiet long enough and the microphone go over there, then people are going to start paying attention to other things. Mr. Joe says racial and gender idolatry is crippling the black community. It's crippling America. Diplomat 314 says, respectfully, being a successful content creator was getting your teeth done considered a business expense. Asking for a friend. I can't tell you that, but it's beautiful, right? I don't want to talk about what my expenses are when it comes to cosmetic surgeries. Shout out to you for the great question, though. That's a phenomenal question. Rochelle Brown says, 63-year-old Republican, voted red always. First was Reagan, only Republican in my family. Wow, you wasn't able to influence the people? That means that they going blue. D. James ZW says, they got the tapes of them on the casting couch. Charlamagne the God, RS, RM, etc. I believe that. I can believe that. Discipline, prioritize, and purpose. Shout out to you, says Trump is pro-crypto. I am pro-crypto. J.D. Vance has ties to Peter Thiel, the billionaire financer behind a major crypto blockchain technology like Ripple. Research. I know who Peter Thiel is. Peter Thiel has been playing a role in venture capitalism for technology companies since the beginning of time, since way in the 90s. Well Building Journey says maybe counter energy with kryptonite. Clay Hart in the building says, Anton, I have the extra $40,000 saved up. Just got an offer for 1.2 acres of land for $95,000. Is it wise to invest in this land? It depends on where it is. You need to do your research. You got to find out if it's what the restrictions are on it. Is it what do they call it? Wetlands, because then you wouldn't be able to build on it. I think that you need to deep dive into it. And where is it at? What county, what city, what state, neighborhood? Is it future development that's coming into that particular area? Look at it. I just bought 1.2 acres of land for less than half that. And it's already valued at more than triple that. So it depends on where it is. It's a lot of factors. I can't just tell you to run out and do it. You need to let me know what's going on. So let me reach out to a couple more super chats. Continue to educate and be informative. Thank you. Shout out to you. Sister in the building says, Mr. AD, we are in a bizarre world. White man DI higher. Yikes. I agree. Yella Marie says, keep going, bro. God bless. Thank you, Yella Marie. I appreciate you. Let me give you that one. Dion Sardine says, Charlamagne definitely showing us some of that Big Gretch mode energy. Big Gretch. That junk is silly. Double R says, I heard this Muppet Kamala literally say we need to invest in depopulation. Send me that. Swift Titan says, Anton, I'm late to the stream. Besides it being a toddler, do you believe that whooping kids in general, not abuse? I'm from Detroit and I do. Yes, I do believe spare the rod, spoil the child. So I do think that it's context to that, though. Shine says, AD, she picked that dude for VP because he is a socialist. Tack Smith in the building says, these leaders are all self-proclaimed to be liberal appointed anyway, just like Malcolm X said, clowns. Do the Right Thing is in the building, says she needs to learn how to say hospitality right before she think about becoming president of anything, let alone the United States of America. Shout out to you. Cultivator in the building. Shout out to the Cultivator. Cultivator says, I wish you could debate these people. I'd pay. They don't want that because then it would ruin their lives. Why would they ruin their future bags? Tia Marie, my girl, says, could be wrong, but I often feel he overcompensates for black women to keep his delinquency of a minor plea quiet. I like his mental health advocacy, but this is not his lane. Boy, he gonna play his role like everybody else. Only 12% of Americans have diabetes. That's a lot. Jerry Early says, thank you, Anton, listening from the Big Island on Hawaii. Shout out to my Hawaii Kiki people. Daddy Day Trip says, I usually don't speak on issues outside of Compton, but California is trying to take our multi-units to prevent homelessness. Gavin, count your days. Check your email, AD. All right, bet. I got you. I'm going to check that out. To Shayla Bennett says, happy 10-year anniversary, Shay Bennett. Shout out to my people, Jay Bennett, Shayla. To Shayla. Shout out to my girl. Shout out to my people over there in Arizona running it up. Happy 10-year anniversary. I love it. I love y'all. Those are some of my people. They've been rocking with me for a long time. Miss Lisa says, for y'all supporting identity politics, Kamala had to go to an HBCU because she had to learn about being black, just like how Obama Had to get a job in the hood to understand black people. Shout out to Miss Lisa. I appreciate you. Ash in the building says, I found one Kamala success. Fact sheet. Biden-Harris administration continues to uplift Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islander communities. Okay, I'm with it. Phil Knight says, the misinformed should vote for Dwayne Elizondo, Mountain Dew, Herbert Camacho as president. He has their best interests at heart. The movie Idiocracy is slowly unfolding. Shout out to my dog, Phil Knight. NC Big says, did you see Kamala's husband and got another woman pregnant? Yep, I heard about that. I don't deep dive into people's personal lives on that type of level. I try not to. Deshaun Rose says, good morning and salute to the Millionaire Morning Show and the Bag Chaser. Shout out to you. A few more. J-Lo on the Track Video Productions is in the building, says, good morning, Bag Chasers and AD. Today is your day. If y'all not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description, as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Clay Hart says, AD, can I jump on a call to give you some more info? Not during the show, big dog. Series A is in the building, says 52774 or 55274 says, as a female, I've been in a relationship for 8 years and never been pregnant once. Ooh, talk to them. The fact that these females said that they need abortion shows how irresponsible they are, excluding rape, incest, and a woman's life at risk. Talk to them. Talk to them. You mean you can control? Let me be quiet. Shout out. Oh, you mean a coaching call? All right, bet. I mean, just send me an email, AntonDaniels413@gmail.com. Annie Marie Lewis says, the micro and macro of buying influencers may be their way of coming back since Trump's shootings. Just my thought. Thank you for this amazing interactive show. Thank you, my friend. And then last but not least, Damian Cross says, good morning, my brother, just checking in. Shout out to everybody that showed me love. Let me also read a couple of these cash apps just to make sure that I acknowledge all of the people supporting the platform. I want to give a shout out to ESDC and Mike That Dude. Shout out to y'all. And I also see a couple other cash apps, but I don't know if I can accept those. But we just going to go from there. All right, y'all ready to continue over with the show? Let's get to it. We got to get to layoffs really quickly. I don't want to spend any more than a few minutes on this. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get to it, y'all. So Stellantis, we want to start off with Stellantis, all right? Stellantis is the parent company of Chrysler, Dodge, all of that, right? And I've been paying attention to what's been going on with Stellantis because ever since Sean Fain is the president of the UAW, and y'all know, all this year, I've been covering Sean Fain because he had been advocating for y'all to get historic wages. And ultimately, I had predicted that this was going to happen. I said, listen, I don't know if y'all know, but they are going to source y'all out, which is one of the reasons why it's important for y'all to have Trump in office, because he's the one that is advocating for American rights, especially when it comes to the North American Free Trade Agreement, tariffs on other countries, and all of this stuff. But they're going to outsource y'all jobs. They're going to put technology in order to remove you slowly, but quickly, since they have to expedite the process. And they're going to start laying people off and getting rid of entire plants, especially ones that's not incredibly profitable. And they're not going to reassign to work. And it's going to be a lot of people that lose their jobs. I broke down the auto industry. I talk about it in Stock Club. If y'all not a part of the Patreon, y'all definitely need to get into the Patreon. But I talk about it all the time. And I said, listen, Stellantis, Ford, Chrysler, GM, all of these people that are unionizing, it's going to go downhill from there. And we starting to see the first of it. We know that white collar workers have been getting laid off and released altogether. They're basically trying to close the Stellantis Chrysler headquarters out in Auburn Hills, and people here in Michigan are starting to lose their jobs.
Carolyn, now to the looming layoffs at Stellantis, and thousands of jobs are on the line. Stellantis saying they plan to lay off roughly 2,450 workers at the Warren Truck Assembly. That plant currently builds an older version of the Ram 1500 pickup, but that production is moving to their Sterling Heights plant, causing a shift to be eliminated at Warren. 7 News reporter Tara Braddock talking with auto workers who've been with Stellantis for many, many years, sharing advice that they have for younger auto workers.
Chrysler parent company Stellantis put out a warning on Friday that layoffs could be coming to the Warren Truck plant as early as October.
The basic rule around the
Right before Christmas.
Plan is, until it's in black and white, until it actually happens, come to work every day.
Howard Watson has worked at the Warren Truck plant for 30 years.
It's a roller coaster. No matter what auto industry you work for, there's always the
Automaker, he meant.
highs and the lows.
According to Stellantis, a little more than 2,400 employees are facing layoffs. There are 3,900 employees who work at the Warren Truck plant. Right now, an older version of the Dodge Ram 1500 pickup truck is being produced at the plant. A Stellantis spokesperson says the Warren plant will stop producing the older version of the truck and workers' shifts will be eliminated.
And they're not going to bring in any new product to replace it. You're just gone. You're just out.
Production of a newer version of the truck will be shifted to a Stellantis assembly plant in Sterling Heights.
I think the younger people are a little bit more nervous than those that have 20 plus years. I think the younger ones that just got rolled over after the strike.
What is rollover? Let me bring y'all up to date. So during the 2008 recession and housing crisis, Detroit and a lot of other automakers were bleeding jobs. They were 100% bleeding jobs. And so what the auto workers negotiated with the unions, which was supported by Obama, is for there to be temp workers that ultimately had a pathway into becoming permanent employees. There's been a lot of people that ultimately switched over and rolled over into being permanent employees. Chrysler was the least profitable of the big three, which was Ford, Chrysler, and GM. And they were the least profitable, and so they were the ones that had the most temp workers, and you had a lesser path into becoming a permanent employee, which was basically you working side by side by other employees, but you're not making as much as them. You don't have the same benefits as them, so on and so forth. So eventually they are supposed to move you over. During this last bargaining agreement, Chrysler and all of the automakers ultimately were reluctant to embrace Sean Fain's offer because Sean Fain was advocating for such a high wage to start off with when people ultimately became permanent employees and the permanent employees that were currently working for Chrysler. Why? Because inflation is out of control, and the legislation that has happened during the Biden-Harris administration, which Biden was on the front line sitting here advocating for the same thing, which we then have to put this at his doorstep and say, hey, listen, it's a whole lot of white-collar workers that's getting laid off, a whole lot of plants that's getting laid off. What is happening? I'm going to break it down for you a little bit deeper really shortly, but ultimately, to go over means you wind up becoming a permanent employee. Well, the automakers, because it was such huge strikes and it was losing so much money, gave in to Sean Fain's plans, right? And they ratified the agreement, and right after that, they're getting laid off. So not only did they get swapped over, and they was happy to say, oh man, we get bonus checks. A lot of them went out there and bought Cherokees, Wagoneers, and Jeeps, and Dodge Chargers, and Challengers, and now they ain't gonna have no way to pay for that car because they getting laid off.
I think their knees are knocking.
What will be your advice to the younger generation as they may face layoffs in a few months?
To just don't do any foolish spending, pay attention.
Too late.
Read the.
I seen so many young people pulling up in Wagoneers. I said, y'all got the Grand Wagoneer? Don't y'all know that that's like $100,000? Yeah, man, we got these big checks, man. Yeah. I'm telling you, I seen so many young people pull up in Grand Wagoneers. It was crazy after they got them checks.
Contract book to find out what it is that will happen to you and what won't happen to you. And just educate yourself and just come to work until you actually, someone in management tells you what the real issue is.
So here's the thing though, and this is what I'm hearing from a little birdie on the street, from a lot of birdies on the street. It's a lot of Chinese officials that are at the headquarters of Stellantis, and they're viewing these different plants over in Detroit, Warren, and then the different plants that they have across the country. Let me say that again for the people in the back. And I want y'all to pay attention to this, because when you ask yourself, okay, so Trump is saying that he wants to do this and he wants to put tariffs on Chinese cars in order to build up the manufacturing base here in the United States of America and support American workers and have American jobs and all of this stuff. Chinese officials have been touring. I'm telling you that it is unofficial, and I can't say this, but the rumors have been, and I've seen the pictures, I've seen the vlogs, I've seen everything. I've been paying attention on the Dodge forums, on Mopar forums and stuff like that. Chinese officials are touring Chrysler and Dodge locations. Why? The sentiment is that BYD or some other Chinese company is going to purchase it from Stellantis in order to avoid and hopefully not fall into the whole Trump plan and Trump becoming president of the United States of America to avoid all of the problems that come along with not having a manufacturing base, and can avoid all of the tariffs and then be able to infiltrate and then ultimately own Chrysler. And then it'll be a vehicle and a dealership network for them to continue to push their Chinese cars, including BYD. Who is one of the owners of BYD? Berkshire Hathaway. Who is the most visible person that is the owner of Berkshire Hathaway? Warren Buffett. Y'all need to join Stock Club. Y'all need to get into the Patreon, because we talk about all of this and how this affects who it is and what it is you're investing your money into, and why this is going to play a larger role. Chinese investors are allegedly vetting out the possibility of purchasing, taking over the plants, pushing their own products out to American consumers, and then ultimately being able to push Chinese electric vehicles at a lower price, because they have the foundation and a dealership network here in the United States of America. Don't say I didn't tell you. Let me go over to more layoffs that's happening throughout the industry. Kellogg's over in Omaha is set to close their manufacturing plant and lay off employees. I already told y'all that there's rumors over there in Memphis that Kellogg's is looking to lay off people too.
The Kellogg's plant in Omaha announced today it will close its doors after more than 75 years. The news comes less than 3 months after Bebo Bakeries in Bellevue also announced it would shut down.
6 News' Johan Morin is on your side tonight with what's next for the hundreds of workers impacted. He joins us live near the Kellogg's plant at 96th and F Streets. Hi, Johan.
Yeah, John and Jacqueline, Kellogg's made the big announcement just this morning, and the union that represents the plant tells me that after the announcement, a bunch of its workers just left, and you can tell that it's pretty dead at the parking lot here, and overall it's pretty quiet. But as you mentioned, there are concerns of what the next steps are from workers and community members.
Early in the morning, lines of cars leaving Omaha's Kellogg's plant.
Pretty much like everybody, we were shocked.
After employees were given some not so good news.
And they told us that the tower systems were not up to par and that they were going to do something different as far as a company-wise, which is going to lead to the Omaha plant being shut down.
The system Merritt is talking about helps make cereals like Frosted Flakes. He tells 6 News the shutdown will end about 500 union jobs and at least 100 management jobs.
465 people found out that they could possibly be losing their jobs in a 2-year span. It did get a little tense.
Merritt is also part of the local union that represents Kellogg's. He helps stand up for employees, making sure the work contracts and pay are fair.
You ain't got to worry about it, because they're going to go ahead and outsource that. Kellogg's is still going to be on your shelves. Y'all just not going to be the ones making it, and y'all not going to be getting no money.
2021 was the first time that we've ever not came to an agreement, which led to a strike in 50 years.
And guess what that was going to come? So, listen, let me tell y'all something. And this is people, I've spoken with people that are bargainers and negotiators on both sides of both, in this particular instance, the UAW and from different companies, right? These companies don't forget when you put a dent in their pockets and you say that I'm striking in order to do this. They do not forget. The first time that they have an opportunity to continue to make and manufacture whatever it is that they manufacturing and then cut your throat, they coming for you. Y'all do realize that these are humans that's running these companies, right? Humans don't forget. Instead of y'all making and having a good partnership with these people, you saying, nah, listen, we gonna strike because that's our right. And you got the right to strike. But guess what? They gonna come back around. They gonna circle the block. These companies is just like drive-by shooters. Oh, okay. Y'all ever seen Boys in the Hood? Y'all ever seen Ice Cube? And it was like, what? We got a problem here? We got a problem? Ricky is the one that's going to pay for that. Ricky is going to pay for that. Right when he going to college, right when you get that Wagoneer, right when you buy your new house, right when you think you got stability, right when you celebrate and you get that little new wife. Usually that's always what happens. As soon as you have a life event, you have a new baby, you get a new wife, y'all decide to buy that little house, the little house on the corner, you know, the house that y'all gonna have as y'all starter home, and we gotta grow into, and we gonna raise children in. Kellogg's gonna be like, not today. Not today. Rickey!
The union also represents Bimbo Bakeries. Its Bellevue plant announced its closure in May and stopped operations in July. With hundreds of jobs lost, some community leaders at the Greater Bellevue Area Chamber of Commerce are taking action.
We have a career fair coming up in September, so it's going to
Y'all gonna be gig workers. Y'all gonna be gig workers. Don't worry about no career fair. Don't worry about none of that stuff. You gonna be a gig worker. It's gonna be you, Miguel, Jesus. You, Miguel, and Jesus gonna be competing. Who can get to the bakery first to go and get my fries and go and get my food? Who gonna get to the bakery first? Is it you? Is it Miguel? Or is it Jesus? Because I got a tip for you. You're going to work harder than you ever hurt. You're going to work harder than you ever worked. And your car going to have high mileage on it. And you're going to still vote blue. And you still going to vote for Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, while they trying to rebuild the middle class. The middle class has fell out the bottom of the barrel. The middle class is in the ocean. When I told y'all that it was a class war instead of a race war, you ignored me and said, nah, Anton, I'm telling you, they're going to give us our reparations. California talking about it right now. Chicago talking about it right now. I said, oh, okay. Where they at, though? Where they at, though? Hey, remember when y'all was arguing about me about the fact that y'all was going to get y'all reparations and we going to spend all of our time fighting for it? Where they at, though? Listen, this is what I know for sure. One thing is for sure and two things is for certain. I want my fries hot. I want my fries hot because you're not a bag chaser and you was not taking my advice and you did not level up and you didn't take my investment advice and all of that. I want my fries hot. I want my burger medium well. I want my steak medium. And I want my dishes cleaned. Nope, none of the machines. I want you to hand wash my stuff. And I want my fries hot. Oh, they not the only people. They not the only people that's laying off. Listen. They not the only ones. They not discriminatory. Harley-Davidson workers is feeling some kind of pressure too.
Workers at the Harley-Davidson plant in Menomonee Falls heading into the weekend with a feeling of uncertainty. The Milwaukee icon today announced it will move more production from the U.S. to Thailand. Waukesha County reporter Rebecca Clough spoke to workers about the mood on the factory floor.
The workers I spoke to did not want to be identified. They told me they're scared about their jobs and their future right now.
Work is going on as
Facts,
normal
Janessa.
inside the Harley-Davidson
Janessa,
powertrain plant
facts.
in Menomonee Falls.
Facts, Janessa. Listen, don't keep filling my junk up with ice in order to not give me my drink. I want all my sugar, all my sugary drink, all my calories, all of that. You know, listen. You know, in some African tribes, how big your stomach is a symbol of success. It's a symbol of wealth, right? And so that's the era that we going back to. They're going to start getting mad at overweight people because overweight people been eating too good. You know what I'm saying? Don't put too much ice in my cup. I want my stuff light ice, just chilled.
We met some workers, though, who say they're feeling things are anything but normal.
How are people feeling in there?
Pretty nervous.
Harley-Davidson said it's moving more production from its Wisconsin and Pennsylvania plants to Thailand. The workers I spoke to say right now the company isn't telling them if jobs will eventually go too.
You think jobs are leaving, but they don't want to say how many.
Harley-Davidson refused an on-camera interview but says this is a temporary transition and just for model year 25.
It's only a temporary transition we're going to move production from Wisconsin. And I actually went to Milwaukee and I toured the Harley-Davidson motorcycle factory and I also toured the Pops Brewery. Shout out to Milwaukee. Shout out to my people out there in Wisconsin, right? Hey, no. Listen, guys, this is just temporary. Don't worry about it. We're going to move production to Thailand. Last time I heard about Thailand, it was some dudes that was on the internet talking about how they got finessed by some lady boys.
But one of the plant's unions is angry. The International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Union says the company vowed never to build any bikes overseas for the U.S. market. The IAM union statement said Harley-Davidson has backtracked on that promise. Harley-Davidson disagrees, also saying this does not have an impact on employment at U.S. facilities.
I wonder if the Harris-Biden administration has anything to say about this. This is one of the questions that I was going to ask in my interview, in my dreams.
But workers are feeling different.
Inside the plant, like, what is everybody thinking?
It's coming. It's coming.
I know about it. I know about it. I'm going to cover it tomorrow, Aaron. Leslie, Aaron, I'm going to cover it tomorrow. I'm familiar with it. Yep, I'm familiar with it. There's only so much I can cram into one show, though, baby.
Around 600 workers inside this Menominee Falls plant. Harley-Davidson recently ratified contracts with their unions back in April.
Yep, and Tiger Uppercut. Yep, Street Fighter. Thailand. E-Honda. Dalton. Some of y'all might be familiar with that. That might have been before your time. But yes, so layoffs are proliferating throughout the industry. I just wanted to make sure that I brought you guys up to speed about that. Let me go ahead and read some of these super chats, and then we're going to continue on with the show. All right? Do y'all like this? Do y'all like the what's coming next, the new look and feel? I'm doing some little testing. I just want to make sure that y'all know what's happening next so you can look forward to. Maybe you can hurry up and run to the bathroom and get back. I just want to make sure that y'all like any of the small upgrades. We got a lot of upgrades. We're working on different things. We testing some stuff out. And so I just want to make sure that you guys are familiar with what's happening. We are always upgrading. We always making changes. And I want to make sure that y'all have the best experience when y'all watching this show. Let me read a couple of these super chats. LTG says, it's funny how TikTok influencers supported the same people that banned TikTok. Ooh, they forgot about that. Daddy Day Trips is in the building, says, where are the LA area bag chasers? Not gonna lie, I need new friends. My old friends won't leave the hood mindset. Tap in. Y'all think I should head out to LA? Should I head back out to LA? I did a meetup in LA. It was actually in Glendale, but I did a meetup in LA. David Simpson Jr. says, if politicians, local and federal, actually represented their constituents, there would be no need for Trump to run. We wouldn't be having to drain the swamp. Agreed. Quentin says, well done, everything. No, not the steak, Quentin. Not the steak. That's the one thing that you don't want to do. Well done, big dog. Cartel's Cookie says, Anton, you're a real one. Running up on a real one makes you evaluate and make a change for the better or make excuses. I've been heads down, getting to the bag, keeping up that great work. Shout out to Cartel's Cookies, some of the best cookies ever. And I also invested in the business and invest in your business that I do every single year at the end of the year. Should I be gearing up for that? Should I be gearing up for investing in your business? I don't want people to join the bag chasers just so they can get their businesses funded. How much did we give away last year? $22,000 to small businesses? $22,000 cash? Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me see how y'all feel real quick about this. We only gonna spend 10 minutes on this one. Let me see. Love the upgrades. Y'all like it? All right. You know this is dope. Best kind of podcast you watch in a while. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and continue on with the show. So a woman is getting fired. Now, I have not seen this story or I haven't reviewed this story. I haven't watched the videos yet. But a woman is allegedly being fired for getting caught working 3 jobs. I want to see what y'all feel about this one.
Tonight, a former D.C. Department of Buildings worker and Falls Church City Council member has a lot of questions to answer. She's accused of juggling multiple jobs and not disclosing information she was supposed to. Our Katie Lusso has been working this story for us tonight. And Katie, what have you learned? We know there are a lot of layers to this.
There certainly are. And at the center of this investigation is Caroline Leanne. She was the deputy director for the D.C. Department of Buildings, making $175,000 a year. She was also working full-time for Freddie Mac, also making a 6-figure salary. But at the same time, she was serving as the council member for the city of Falls Church. As of tonight, we have learned she is no longer working in any of these roles.
Hold on. Wait. So let me just figure this out. She was working for Freddie Mac, making 6 figures. Let me rewind real quick.
Learned, we know there are a lot of layers to this.
There certainly are. And at the center of this investigation is Caroline Leanne. She was the deputy director for the D.C. Department of Buildings, making $175,000 a year.
Deputy director for the DC buildings, making $175,000. Nice.
She was also working full-time for Freddie Mac, also making a six-figure salary, but at the
So let's assume that she was making, let's say on the low end, $125,000. So right there, that's $300,000. $300,000. Wow. Get it, Caroline.
same time, she was serving as the council member for the city of Falls Church.
Okay.
As of tonight, we have learned she is no longer working in any of these roles.
Really, what's in effect in July 1st is, salaries for council members going from $9,200 to $11,000.
Tonight, an investigation is underway.
Okay, so that job wasn't even paying that much money in the first place. She was just a pillar of her community, working. She was also getting a little extra money as a result of it. And I would like for these type of people to actually be the ones that's on city council and be the council members. Listen, we done with community advocates. We done for lifetime politicians. We done with people that don't understand budgets. We done with people that don't understand police. We done with people that don't understand how to run businesses. We done with people that really don't advocate for the people that's not a member of the community. I want these type of people that are productive, tax-paying citizens and community members to be the ones that hold these positions, because they are the ones that's best suited to know what the pulse of the community is, and they're the ones that have the vested interest in the communities being great. I don't see what the problem is.
Into former Falls Church City Council member Caroline Leanne. Her resignation effective Thursday. Leanne also resigned from her role as the deputy director for the D.C. Department of Buildings after an ethics probe uncovered she didn't disclose that she was also working as a risk management director for a company called Freddie Mac. How did she manage 3 jobs? Well, according to the investigation, her position with the DOB was hybrid. She worked 3 days from home and the other 2 in the office. During those 3 days from home, the investigation found she was working in the office at Freddie Mac. While she did report her position with the Falls Church City Council, the investigation found that on more than 10 different occasions, she attended city council meetings while still on the clock in D.C.
I'm trying to figure out what the problem is.
Leanne has since been fined $25,000. In an interview with the Falls Church News Press Tuesday, she called it a clerical error, telling them, "I've corrected the form, paid the fine, and now I'm moving on." Tonight, the city of Falls Church tells WUSA 9 Leanne listed Freddie Mac as her employer, but didn't tell them about her job in D.C. The city now handing over information to the Commonwealth's attorney, who is investigating. We've also learned Leanne is no longer on the Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments Board of Directors, a position she was appointed to in January. Now, I reached out to Leanne to see if she can answer some of our lingering questions. I've still not heard back. Tonight, the mayor of Falls Church saying she valued Leanne's service to the community and will miss working with her. As for what comes next, while Leanne's term went until December of 2025, the mayor told me they'll likely be discussing next steps at their upcoming city council meeting on Monday. Lorenzo?
Yeah,
I'm trying to understand what the problem is. I'm trying to understand what the problem is. You know what the main problem is that she was too transparent. She let any of that stuff leak. She let any of it leak. Listen, she was working hybrid, which means that she was in the office 3 days and then she was at home the 3 days. And the other 3 days that she was working remotely, she was in the office for the other one and she was working hybrid on that. And so she finessed the game. I ain't even gonna say she finessed the game. She finessed her schedule. Because if the woman was doing what she was supposed to do, and she was grinding and she was hustling and she was doing the job effectively and she was great at what she was doing, somebody says she's still in time, bro. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. I disagree with that 100%. I disagree with it 100%. Listen, you're never going to sit here and have me talk negatively about people that go out there and hustle and grind and get it. I can't. Let me say that again for the people in the back. You're never, ever, ever under any circumstances going to get here and sit me and get me to talk. I'm an advocate for it. I'm going to be 100% transparent with you. Look, I know that the proper thing, according to the PCers, right? The PCers, the proper thing to say is, oh no, listen, you should only be doing it. No. Push, and let me help you. You probably need to get a coaching call on let me help you to cover it up more effectively, because the more money that you can make and your ability to be able to work it. If you can do it, if you can swing it, run that up. Run it up. I'm 100% an advocate for having multiple different jobs, especially if you're working from home on some of them. I know it was some people that was displaced because they had to go back into the office and all of that. I am 100% an advocate for learning how to manage your time in order to make make money on multiple different jobs. What do you mean? What do you mean? So you're telling me that I'm supposed to tell her or say that, no, listen, even though you're efficient at what you do and you can do multiple things at the same time, that you shouldn't do it. Bullsh. You talking to a person that very much right now, I will be a hypocrite. The one thing I'm not going to be is a hypocrite. Right now, Anton is getting paid. Right now, Anton is getting paid. Boy, I got a life hack for y'all that y'all don't even know what that type of life hack is. I got a life hack that's so fire. Bag chasers. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. I gave them a gem in the bag chasers that'll help some of these people make I know somebody literally that took that same advice that I gave them inside of the bag chasers for that video I gave y'all, and they making over $300,000 a year as extra as a result of it. They making over $300,000 a year extra as a result of it. Don't tell them, bag chasers. That's information just for y'all. People so worried about that little $15 that they got to pay. They missing out on hundreds of thousands and maybe even millions. I done made millionaires. I done made millionaires. They know. Sabrina, you know. Some people done took that advice that I gave them and they said, yep. I don't even have to come up with no idea. I just got to leverage it and put the work in and do it myself. It's not time card fraud. It's not time card fraud because you still on the clock. I just so happen to be on the clock at another location that I'm doing the job from. I got a MiFi. I'm doing it. I'm having a conversation. I'm managing the meetings. All of that. Nope. I disagree with you. Time card fraud is saying that you are somewhere, right? It's saying that if I'm on a plant, if I'm supposed to be at the floor on a plant, right? And I got my homeboy actually doing the job for me, and I'm not even in the building, that's time card fraud. This woman was a hybrid worker. She didn't have to necessarily be working from home. She could work from anywhere. She could work from anywhere. So are y'all that are working remotely, but is not necessarily working from home, but you working somewhere on vacation, is that time card fraud too? Is that time card fraud too? Anything that you do that generate revenue, if you working hybrid or you working remote, but then you list something on Facebook Marketplace and you go outside and sell it to somebody, is that time card fraud too? Let me tell you something, bro. Ain't nothing illegal about working multiple jobs. Nothing. Not even a little bit. Run it up. I'm not mad at this woman. Run it up. Uber is time card fraud too. If y'all go out there and y'all do an Uber, is that time card fraud too? Nope. You should be able to be logged into multiple different jobs at the same time and be able to run it up. You should be able to be logged into multiple different jobs at the same time and run it up. I'm not. I'm never, ever going to be against somebody that worked their butt off, figuring out how to get the bag. I think that they need to get this woman her job back. Caroline Leanne, I am an advocate for you, baby girl. If anybody know who Caroline Leanne is over there in D.C., I am an advocate for this woman to get her jobs back. I believe she deserve her jobs. I'm a protest for this woman to get her bags back. Because if you're telling me that the only thing that the discrepancy was the fact that she didn't let other employers get this woman her job back. Get this woman her job back. Some of y'all don't even want to go to work. Some of y'all don't even want to go to work. You so lazy. I review videos on here on a regular basis where people are saying, man, I don't want to work no more. I'm tired of working. It's too much. Who told us that we supposed to be working 40 hours in the first place? Okay, so this woman decided that she wanted to take advantage of your laziness and she wanted to run it up, and now you still complaining about it. I'm not going, bro. I'm not going. I think that this woman deserves her job back. Shout out to Regime. Regime says, lazy mother effers hate when you run it up because they're not disciplined enough to do it. They want the results without the work. I agree 100%, 1,000%. Wealth building journey in the building says, for private corporations, it's dicey, but I'm with you. She messed up by working 2 different governments, DC government and the Fairfax government, and faces jail time. I don't think she's going to get no jail time. For what? What would she get jail time for? I don't know. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get into this final part of the show. See, with my newfound freedom, I could just take my time and cook. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about Scott Galloway, all right? Scott Galloway, and make sure that y'all tap into the Patreon, link is in the description. Scott Galloway is a professor, an entrepreneur, an author, all of the same, right? And Scott Galloway was speaking on a podcast on a clip that then wound up showing on my algorithm. And so instead of me reviewing a video of people doing certain things, I thought that I would share this with you because I think that this is a better conversation to have. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. We're going to talk about getting rich and work-life balance. That's how we're going to end the show. Getting rich and work-life balance. Before y'all leave today, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. And then also on top of that, make sure that you guys share this with your family and friends. If you want to tap into the Patreon, link is in the description. Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Let me share this gem with y'all.
My students, I'll ask them how much money they expect to be making by the time they're 35. And about 90% of them expect to be in the top 1%, which is $750,000 a year in America. And then they'll talk about that, like that's what I expect, but I'll say, what's most important to you in your life and moving forward? And a lot of the time they say balance. And I'm like, so you expect to be in the top 1% by the time you're 35, but you also believe you're going to have balance in your life? I mean, I've never seen that. You can have it all. You just can't have it all at once. And by the way, that may not be the way to go. You may sacrifice. You may say, I want to live a nice kind of balanced life. I'm going to move to a suburb of St. Louis, coach Little League, work 40 hours a week, be a good citizen, find a good partner. Nothing wrong with that. But the majority of the people I know, the young people, think they're going to be in the top 1% and also have balance in their life. And I just think it's ridiculous. I'm like, okay, the only way to get there, to achieve that, is if you have one thing, and that's rich parents. Otherwise, expect to go all in on your career or scale back your expectations around your economics and your influence, because it's a competitive market. And one of the things people can control is how hard they work. I don't think you want to work so much that you sacrifice your health or your relationships. There is going to be some trade-off with your relationships. I didn't see my kids a lot when they were little. I was divorced. I think it was a contributor to that. I was always working in services companies and never saying no to any opportunity. The CMO of Samsung, can you be in Seoul tomorrow for a board meeting? Sure, I can. I just said yes to everything.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that, y'all. I got my audio back. I apologize for that. Let me say this. Thank you guys for letting me know that. I appreciate y'all inside of the chat. Look at all of these text messages. I appreciate y'all. It's only one of three types of people, or one of three different ways. Because Artifact says that work-life balance is so important, right? Artifacts is saying that work-life balance is so important. And I'm saying, to who? It depends on what you want. It depends on what you want. Everything that you do in this lifetime is going to be a sacrifice. Everything that you're doing in this lifetime is going to be a sacrifice. You're going to have to pick and choose because it's going to be a trade-off on both ends. Very rarely do I see people that make over $500,000 a year. Are they able to balance people and what it is that they do for a living? One of the two going to have to suffer. All of these Instagram people and all of these people that's out here on these chats and all of this stuff that's trying to convey to y'all, oh man, you know, I'm living this life and all I do is party all day. Either they an Instagram model, a sugar baby, or they are a person that has inherited their wealth from their parents. Because every single person that I know that is running it up, every single person I know that's running it up, they 100% grind. And they don't work any less than 80 to 100 hours a week. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Every person that I know that is making over $500,000 a year, they have made sacrifices on some front. One of three different types of people that fall into this category. Either they single and they throw themselves completely into what it is that they're doing for a living. They're divorced. Let me say that again for the people in the back. They're divorced because their career has taken priority over any other relationship, and the woman didn't know what she was getting herself into, which also feeds into the fact that women say a lot of times that they want to be in these relationships with these men that are high-powered, but they really don't know what come along with that. Or number three, the woman plays her position, plays her role, and she understands, and so she's learned to make the sacrifice of not being able to be there or see him on a regular basis, and that's what comes with success. But I personally, I know a lot of people that make a lot of money. I don't know anybody, not one person that I could think of off the top of my head, that has been incredibly successful and it has not come with a level of sacrifice, whether it be seeing their kids, which is one of the reasons why you need a really good mother, right? Why you need a really good wife or a really good woman in your life that ultimately is holding you down, or they have chosen not to participate at all. When people sit here and tell me, oh man, you know, work-life balance is so important, this is what it comes with, I know that y'all ain't made enough money. Y'all have not made enough. I know you have not made enough money if you sitting here talking to me about how it is that you have work-life balance or how it's so important and how you, I know you ain't made that type of money. I know you're not a millionaire. It's impossible for you to be a millionaire for being able to have work-life balance. No, listen, ladies, get you a regular person, a regular guy, a normal guy. He might even make a six-figure salary. He gonna pay a lot in taxes. Get you a regular guy. You're not gonna, listen, you're gonna plan your trips. The kids might have to take out some student loans. You know what I'm saying? A regular, everyday American person. You might have some car notes that's not paid off, a little bit of credit card debt, all of that stuff. Might go some layoffs and all of that stuff. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Get you a regular person that don't understand what this life about because it's different up here. Something is going to suffer. I see people who have suffered with their health. They got to figure that out. I've seen people suffer in their relationships. They got to figure that out. But some people are so dedicated to the grind, so dedicated to what it is that they do for a living, so dedicated to being successful, so dedicated to making sure that they run it up, that they don't care. And the only thing that they can think about is how it is that they can continue to leverage the position that they in so that they don't have to do what they have to do for the rest of their life. Now, the balance comes, well, let me let him play a little bit more. CQ said the regulars is winning. I disagree. I think that the regulars are the ones that got to work for the people that get to it, because the opportunities got to be created by the people that are irregular. The Elon Musk are the people that create the jobs, and the small business owners are the people that create the jobs. And so those are the ones that go in at the forefront of the fire in order to create the positions for people to be able to feed their families. That's just the reality of it. Those are the ones that create the positions that people work for to feed their families. So then it becomes disrespectful when you see somebody say that they earn something or they deserve more, or just because they're American or just because they go to work every day. That ain't the mentality of a person that has built this company that you ultimately working for and benefiting from in the first place. It's a sacrifice. It's got to be a sacrifice on that forefront. I'm telling you. Money works for me, not the other way around. Bullshit. Bull. You know how much money you got to be making in order to generate enough revenue to live the life that you want, not the life that you subjected to, the life that you want, and not touch the principal, and you still not beating the rate of inflation? Nonsense. Nonsense. Everybody I know is getting to it, and they working hard
to try and move the company forward. But I for a long period worked very, very hard and sacrificed a lot, and it takes a toll. And I did it such that I could have a lot more balance now. But
somebody said, I don't know. Let me see this. Because he said he sacrificed the life that he wanted so he can have more balance now. Somebody said, I don't know if it's a matter of winning. It's a choice of what life you want to live. Guess what? Most people, if you go out here and you look and you talk to them or you listen on TikTok and all of this stuff, most people are not in a position that they want to live. Most people that describe themselves as regular, everyday tax-paying Americans have an average debt. They own their homes. They pay a car note. They're not in a position to have the true freedom. They have to go to work tomorrow. I don't have to do nothing. I choose to do what I want to do. It's a difference. I made the informed decision to do what I'm doing because I love what I do. I could lay everybody off and chill and go retire and that just be the end of the conversation. But when you get off a vacation that your job allows for you to have, guess what? You have to go to work tomorrow. Most regular people want to be rich. And most people that are rich want to be richer. You have to do it. That's an illusion. Don't let these people fool you and sit there and tell you that, oh man, I'm so happy. I see all of these layoffs and these people. I just did a segment, just a segment ago where I was talking about the layoffs. Just was talking about people is shivering, biting their nails on a regular basis. Sit here and listen, you can lie to me, lie to your mama. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Lie to your mama. Don't lie to me. I don't care what nobody is talking about. I know what's really happening out in these streets. Most people are one paycheck away from losing everything. Paycheck to paycheck, disaster is on the horizon. I don't care nothing about that. Oh man, it depends on what. No. The lottery playing is at an all-time high because people are hoping, wishing, and praying that they can get out of their situation. That's a fact.
Notion, the myth of balance, get over it. If you expect to be influential or economically secure, you're not going to have a lot of balance for a long period of time. Some people are such geniuses that they can work a modest amount of time, make a lot of money, work out, have a great relationship with their parents, be fit, donate time at the ASPCA, and have a food blog. Assume you are not that person. So just have a sober conversation, and also have a sober conversation with your partner. How much money do we expect to have? Who's responsible for making it? What's your approach to spending? Where are we going to live? You know, the number one source of divorce is not infidelity or lack of shared values. It's usually got something to do with money. And also 70%
That's a fact.
of divorce filings are filed by women who still, and we don't like to say this because we like to pretend women have no agency and that they're just doughy little foes, is the man loses a business, becomes broke, or has a mental breakdown.
So let's talk about that for a second. If money is not that meaningful, then how come still in 2024, statistically speaking, the majority of divorces are not based off of infidelity? The majority of the divorces is not based off of kids. The majority of the divorces is not based off of the fact that she said something to you and she pissed off at you or anything like that. It's still money related. No money, no honey. No money, no honey. It's still financially related. Look, you don't even know what an argument looked like until you argue while you broke. That's why as a 42-year-old man, I don't really have no regard for people that sit here and tell me that they life coaches and they only 22 years old. Boy, you still got Similac on your breath. You don't even know what it feels like to be up, all the way up, making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, lose everything, and then be getting into an argument. Look, you argue more when you broke. Things just get washed a little bit more when you got money. Oh, you okay? Listen, don't worry about it. Hey, get my assistant on the phone, send them some flowers, make sure that they get some candy, make sure that you get them a card, put something nice in that card over there. You know what? Girl, you stressed out. You need to take a vacation. Why don't you go with your friends over on that vacation? It hit different. Listen, the argument is a little bit different when she going to get in her luxury car. And that ain't no argument. That's a discussion. Her voice is lower. Her tones are sounding like she talk with a softer voice. You don't know what an argument feel like until you get into an argument and you ain't got no money. Then she be hitting you with the girl. She be talking to her homegirl. Girl, I can do good by myself. I'm already supporting him. When he gonna get it together? Listen. So I'm driving around in my SS. True story. Over the weekend. Honest to God. I'm driving around in my SS over the weekend. I pull up to a stoplight, and in the SS, I don't have no music playing because I left everything stock, right? So the whole car is stock outside of the wheels. Some people have seen my SS. The whole car is stock, right? So I got the windows down, and I'm just vibing. And so it's one of those type of cars where you truly become one with the road, and you pay attention, and you see stuff that's all around you that you wouldn't normally notice, right? And so I'm riding around, and I got the windows down, and I'm downtown, and I pull up at a light, and I see a girl. It's two girls, and they pull up on my right side. So I'm in the left lane. They're in the lane right next to me. They pull up next to me. They not paying no attention to me whatsoever. But I hear their whole conversation. The girl in the driver's seat is reading the girl in the passenger seat her Miranda rights practically. I mean, she reading her the riot act, and she going over and she going on. And I'm trying to figure out, what is that? I'm being nosy. I'm like, what? Because I don't hear nothing. I ain't got no music playing or nothing. So what is they talking about? She over there saying, if I'm lying, I'm flying. She says, and the girl in the passenger seat is just looking down like this. Let me remove this so you can understand. Girl in the passenger seat is like this. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, you right. Yeah, you right. And so the girl in the driver's seat is a little bit older. You can tell she's a little bit more the OG. The girl in the passenger seat is getting read her riot act, right? Riot acts. You know what they saying? This is honest to God what they were saying. I mean, I don't know why you keep dealing with him anyway. He can get a job anywhere while he laid off. No, not while he left. He can get a job anywhere while he unemployed. He can go be a greeter at Walmart. I said, broke my heart. Because I know that this man is completely unsuspecting at the fact that her homegirl is reading her the riot act about her still being with a man that ain't got no money. Her homegirl was reading her the riot act about still being with a man that is leeching off of you and ain't got no money. Why he ain't got himself together yet? I mean, he could go and get a greet. This is what she said. She said, he can go and get a job at Walmart being a greeter. Anywhere I take you, he need to be out here. And I can't believe you still, the light turned green. I was still sitting there. I said, Jesus. That man had no clue. No clue what I did. I clutched my pearls. I said, oh. Let me put some pearls on. Put my pearls on. It was hurtful. I wasn't supposed to be in on the conversation in the first place, so it was really weird for me to hear it. But I said, that man gonna come home to a cantankerous woman that is placed in his woman's mind. Another woman placed in his woman's mind because she was telling him about the situation, and the girl is saying, girl, I can't believe you still, you need to leave him because, I mean, he can go and get a job at Walmart being a greeter. They'll take him anywhere. I said, Jesus. I'm telling you, you don't know what an argument feel like until you arguing with a man that's broke. Or as a man, you arguing with a woman from a broke mouth with no money in your mouth. Hey. You don't even argue the same. You don't even argue the same. I'm telling you, you don't even argue the same. Because listen, I've been broke. 2008 was a rough time for Tom Dog, all right? I've been broke. I thought about the issue that I was going to bring to her before I brought to her. I said, you know what? That ain't even worth talking about. You know what? Like, you can't even just spew it off. Hey, what's going on over there? Hey, come over here for a minute. I need to talk to you. No, you don't move like that. When you ain't got no money, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? Privately in the other room? I don't want everybody to be a part of our conversation. You hit different. Because when you got money, you speak with authority. Hey, what y'all over there gossiping about? Girl, what y'all, I need y'all need something better to do. Go to the store and go and get this. And then they call you, okay, daddy. That's how they talk to you. Okay, daddy. Go to the store and get this. But when you gotta ask her to go to the store with her own money, it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? And so now she's gonna be like, if you ain't never heard that, then you ain't never been broke enough yet. You ain't been broke enough. Hey, how much you got on your card? Hey, you got anything on your card? No? Shit. You know what? Don't even worry about it. I was going to ask you something, but we'll talk about it later. She don't want to hear it. She don't want to talk. She don't want to talk. What I'm trying to tell you is that it's going to be sacrifices on both ends. You're going to have to pick and choose which side of the fence you want to be. And borrow her car, Trinity Life. Hey, can I use your car real quick? Hey, no, you don't even say that. Hey, where your keys at? And then she'd be like, why? What you need my keys for? Man, girl, where your keys at? You don't ask her to borrow her car. Just ask her where her keys at. Broke conversations is something you got to deal with. It hit different. It hit different. Then she started looking around. Man, you know what I'm saying? She went and visited her homegirl. You and her homegirl went to a house event, a housewarming for some single guy that got all of this food inside of his refrigerator. Listen, you don't want your homegirl going. You don't want your girl going with her homegirl to an event where a dude got a whole lot of food in the refrigerator and you waiting for her EBT card to hit at the beginning of the month. That's not going to be kosher for you. That's not going to be kosher for you. Anyways, neither here nor there. Let me get back to the core of things. I want to make sure that I read these super chats and I'm going to get you. When you hug up on her at the cash register, Kevin King. Somebody said at least fill her tank up. To what? With what money? With who money? Listen, whenever I get mad, I order DoorDash. You know why? You know why I order DoorDash when I get mad? Because I can always make some dude that is riding in the passenger seat of his girl's car while she delivering DoorDash feel some type of way when I go out there and I lean up against my car and I get my food. Whenever y'all piss me off on this internet and I see something that I don't like, I order DoorDash. And I know that it's going to be some girl that's pulling up with her front bumper off. Her boyfriend is going to be sitting on his phone. It's going to be a baby seat in the back with no kid in it because the kid is in daycare. He just going with her because he ain't got nothing better to do. And he's supposed to be helping. He really ain't got no license. It's under his account. But she the one that's delivering the DoorDash. And I'm going to lean up against the Porsche and I'm going to give her a $30 tip. And hey, thank you, baby girl. I appreciate you. And then she driving away looking like this. Because I done said everything I needed to say without saying it. You know, I'm just saying you can do better. I'm just saying you can do better. Then once I get my fill of my ego, I go back and I get back to working and I jump on these live streams. And I'm back. I'm back, baby. Yeah. Her boyfriend is a passenger princess. Oh, how many of y'all actually see? If I see a foreign name on my DoorDash, I don't want that one. I want a name with a regular person. I want Jerome on my DoorDash. I want Michael, Jerome, Carlos. Carlos is an iffy one. That could be a black guy or it could be a migrant. Jonathan, Terrell. All of them names, I'm with it. Let me see. What other name do I got? Because it's a chance. It's like a 98% chance that it's going to be a guy, and the girl is the one that's delivering the stuff. Gregory. Charles. Charles is a good one. Charles, when you get a Charles, I'm just saying you can do better. Let me get y'all up out of here, man. Let me get y'all up out of here, bro. Oh, Devon and James. I love my chat. Shout out to George. Yeah, George is a good one. When I seen George on there, Jalen with 2 Y's, I said, oh, this nigga about to have his girl delivering. Then I just be sitting there. Where my keys at? Yeah, man, because shit, I don't know what I'm about to do. Yo, hey, this how I'm going to be next time that you deliver your DoorDash with your girl. Yeah, dog. Dog, I don't know what's going on, my nigga. Oh, no, you could just leave it right there on top of my car. Yeah, dog. It's crazy out in these streets, yeah. Yeah, dog, it was, man, we made a lot of money over this weekend. Oh, no, you good, baby. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me get you your tip real quick. Hey, give me a second, bro. Here, this for your troubles. Yeah, because I ain't want you to have to get out the car, so I'm going to give you an extra 20. Oh, no. No, you cool. It's great seeing you. You good. Don't worry about it. I got you. Nah, hey, listen. That's okay. Because I was going to invite you to the studio, but. Then she going to say something, I like your teeth. Thank you. I appreciate you. Nah, I'll be here all day. Then she gonna come back. Let me tell you what they do. Oh, I left something for you. I'm sorry, I left something in the car. I had to run all the way up here. Okay, cool. I got you. Anyways, let me. This is all made up on the spot. I'm freestyling. Go. Ain't nothing like pulling up next to a dude that's looking angry and his girl is doing like this and you clean and their car smoking. It's crazy. It's crazy work. Oh, man. Anyways, let me get back to these super chats. They said that I was muted. I appreciate y'all for holding it down. Volume was still in time. We're going to cut that part out of the stream. No worries. JBFM101 says, just join the Chasers. Any video that you recommend starting with, Interview Like a King. Start off with Interview Like a King. You're going to love it. It's going to be a phenomenal video. Mo in the building, or start off with a stock club. The beginning of stock club. A stock club from January. Start off with that. These promotions come with a sacrifice. Sometimes the demotion looks appealing to create that balance. Ain't nobody trying to go backwards on no money, though. That's the problem. Tono says, I am married and make $200,000, $300,000 in corporate America. I spend my time wisely, but managing a global team will cause you to sacrifice something. So you get it. You know what's really happening out here, bro. Brandon Robinson says, Anton, how much money would you save first before you start looking to invest? It's not about whether you should start looking to invest and saving to invest. It's more or less about making sure that you eliminate all of your debts, eliminate all of your debts, and then start dollar cost averaging. So you don't have to save up a certain amount before you start investing. You should start investing in everything that you do. The first thing you should be doing is getting all of your matches from your 401k. The second thing that you do, you get rid of the savings account and then you get a brokerage account. You automate the investment process, all right? So always be investing. You don't need no certain amount. You just let that junk roll over. Tech Coach Ralph in the building says, this is the same debate you had 4 years ago when you were arguing with, is $40,000 enough to raise a family? And now they're sitting here saying that you right. They're not going to come and say that I was right, but I was right. Regime says, they like them broke ninjas. Don't get it twisted, time. They won't control any ability to play the victim. Okay. I'm just saying you can do better. Shout out to the Great Way says AD out here ruining relationships like Chris Brown. Hey, it's different over here. It's different over here. You know what that key is? You know what? If you don't know what that key is, baby, let me go get another key. No, I ain't got time for that. Anyways, listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are so funny. It's all fun and games, y'all. I teach you how to stunt in the Patreon by Anton Daniels. Shout out to my dog, DJ Ace Productions in the building. Thank you for holding me down, big dog. Don't listen to... don't listen to... I don't know. Anton is just playing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Anyway, don't listen to KB, y'all. Don't listen to KB. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience on earth. We back at it tonight. We back at it tomorrow morning with the Millionaire Morning Show. We got the Q Show tonight. And I am going to focus on trying to get this live stream getting ready for the Donald Trump interview with Elon Musk, right? So we're going to do both of those on the Anton Daniels channel back to back, all right? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We making upgrades. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I'm out. Peace.